thanks for doing this one shot with me, everyone, because I need to practice.
Destinies! I didn't think I'd ever get the chance to play it, so thank you for running it.
I like mechanics, so I can't wait until August when we get our first glimpse of Daggerheart. That'll be nice. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I know.
See, the interesting thing with her is that she's half machine, half human. Her
Sounds just like you.
Her arms, her legs, and her eyes are all mechanical.
I just pictured the tattoo that says for the greater good on her. What a great
That's just weird.
No, it's totally not this role whatsoever.
I just give you a description of her. In a Victorian asylum full of grotesque inmates, sadistic guards, and the fanatical doctor, a young lady wakes to find her arms and legs have been replaced with mechanical limbs. But who among this gruesome menagerie is the true monster of the Ministry of Hell? The origin of the notorious adventuress known as the Lady Mechanica.
Actually, that's one of the Ed series.
That's the first edition.
The Ministry of Health, the lead. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, man.
It is.
It's just so beautiful, man.
I read the first one at my first Comic-Con, and it was like that next to the Grim Fairy Tales.
Yeah.
It was the first thing as we started collecting.
But you didn't know now. I know the guy's grandson. Okay. The gentleman who makes Lady Mechanica, his grandson is doing conflict series. As she gets.
No, I'm completely
Babe, did you check the Twitch channel? I wonder if we might be broken tonight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it seems to be working.
Are you suggesting that Twitch will not be able to see us make fools of ourselves?
Something like that.
So sad. Here's the tiny violin.
I was trying to double check my OBS audio. Oh, wait a minute. I know what I'm doing. It's in my settings.
Right here, because I have downloads Twitch and my phone first. Is it a turtle or is it a troll? I thought it was a troll.
Okay. Troll, turtle. Don't let the giant miniature fall on the ground. Completely hypothetical, just throwing that out there just in case maybe this might come in handy.
There we go.
What kind of damage would an explosion cause? Right now, here, in this room? No. Suggesting that my character were to mix some chemicals together and cause an explosive reaction.
And Twitch is still fucked up.
Cupcakes for everyone. This is not.
Save my thighs.
This is not.
Save my
This
thighs.
is not going in my thoughts.
This is not the unicorn game.
The chocolate you're looking for.
Well, there is 4 cupcakes there. If we all take one,
You just throw stuff on the floor.
My dice just ran away.
That's not possible. They're inanimate objects unless you intentionally throw them. There's this thing called physics. Physics cannot be denied.
Sure can. You just denied the denial.
It's hiding.
Okay, flat earther.
Yeah. I'm the occultist. I mean, how much more can you get? I don't believe the world is round. I believe it's a pyramid.
I believe it's
Yep.
It's on the back of
Birds
the
aren't
turtle.
real.
It's on the back of a turtle floating through space, supported by 4 giant elephants.
No. You know what we're truly. It's our true God is the spaghetti God.
Please tell me you know.
All right,
exactly.
Scientology.
Is that
I
from?
want to watch
It's,
that.
It's a
uh,
reference from a movie.
it's a literal joke. It's God is the spaghetti. That's what.
Yeah, but
It's
somebody-
Scientology. That's
Well,
how part of it.
Scientology. It's the
Right. But
game monster.
it was. I can't remember if it's in Rick and Morty or in South Park. But
But it's in South Park.
Oh, okay, yeah. The spaghetti monster.
Mhm.
believe your God's a spaghetti monster.
I mean, out in Baker's apparently God's bacon.
There is a
Well,
church of
I
bacon.
mean, it's
There
good.
really is a church
Well,
of
if I'm going to
bacon.
believe in a religious institution, I'm okay with.
So am I.
Yeah,
I
I'm
saw
okay
that.
with
I
one.
think because it was one of those road signs, the road cleanup support, sponsored by the Church of Bacon. Like, this is a real thing.
I might be okay with that one.
Or it could be somebody decided, anybody can
Start
sponsor a road
their-
cleanup. I mean,
And apparently they can start their own church too.
Well, you can go online and become a preacher.
yeah,
That's-
you
yeah,
can be ordained for whatever you want to say that you want to be ordained for.
I had a friend who thought God was pink and lavender cockroach.
So
They're not friends still, are they?
on the
They're more of an acquaintance.
You can be friends with people you don't believe with.
Does God crawl or does God fly?
And cockroaches do both.
Yeah. That's
Well,
what I
I
know.
think
Like,
of all
God
the
does it all. He's
We have no,
everywhere and everything
um,
at the same
picture,
time.
but-
Remember?
Yeah, Val.
My body.
didn't you know he's also a bagel?
So yeah, it's like the gentleman
We're all at once.
the gentleman who married us. He's a Buddhist monk.
You can hear it all the way over here.
Oh.
Are you turning
Are
down?
you-
Remember, there's an
Totally gonna
internal
pull-
volume.
all the
He's a
sprinkles down there.
or the gentleman who married us. He's actually Buddhist.
Yeah,
So
she's
we
gonna
were
pull.
married by
You got married
a Buddhist.
Nope, he actually got married.
to a Buddhist?
No,
You
not
just
quite.
said
Yeah, it sounds
he
like
married you guys.
Yeah, he-
I mean, he married both of you at the same time.
Well, he is polyamorous.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They just
You
don't
know
know
what?
it.
Just leave a nice, thin, even layer of dust alone. Don't need to stir it up, buddy.
Make sure it's the
Leave
dust
it
of
alone.
deliciousness.
It was totally the best delicious.
I'm gonna.
It was nebulous?
into his nebula.
Wow.
Into the nebula where this creature was.
PG-13, everyone.
And because she was lonely,
Yeah.
she basically infected his ship with all her essence.
See? Blacklight that ship?
And she kept putting images in his brain that made him think that he was still on the ship.
Oh, that was in Love, Death, Robots or
Yes,
whatever.
yes,
Yeah, I know which
That's
episode.
not Black Mirror. Yeah, that's
Okay.
Love, Death,
Yeah.
Robots.
One death and no life, yes.
Yeah, no, I know
I stopped
exactly
watching
what
Black
you're
Mirror because
saying.
it was
That
like
was a
Twilight
good one.
Zone, except
And he
it's
wakes up
not
all
as happy.
atrophied and zombified after she's been kind of like consuming him. Through,
Yeah, she's a big old spider,
yeah.
Entertaining them for years.
basically.
Yeah.
I mean, has she been entertaining him or has he been entertaining
Symbiotic.
parasitic?
Parasitic.
Symbiotic benefits. both.
Were they both
She was
entertained?
kind of absorbing him, but she was making
Kind
like
of.
a pleasurable absorption.
You gotta
Still parasitic.
die.
She was slowly keeping him dead alive because she fell in love with him.
And she was absorbing
Like all things that she collects. But the best part is when it pans out, there's like dozens of other ships all
Doing the
like
same
inner
thing.
lair, going through the same thing. You're just like, oh my god, it's so cool.
Yeah, that was a really cool episode.
Or when the two scientists go into that bug community,
Mhm.
and oh yeah,
Yeah.
I like that one. I like Old Death Robots. They're really good anthologies. My
We
favorite one's
just
Mini Zombies
watched
is
the
funny.
newest.
That's right.
I finished watching the newest first episode of.
Who's Percy Bottle?
Mine. It was a gift.
Wow, that's pretty
Oh.
boss. I thought that was Percy. That's Pepperbox right there.
Mm-hmm. It was a gift from a friend of mine.
That's awesome.
I like that one.
Very cool.
So
Okay.
tonight we're gonna
Step
get
out
a
of
little gothic and get a little fun with the. Normally we play D&D. Then we started playing something like D&D for the last year, and tonight we're gonna play something new that Critical Role had released a few weeks ago called Candela, Obscura. Go check them out on Twitch. They and on YouTube because it just dropped on YouTube. But they did their very first episode of Candela Obscura, which was really fun. So I spent some time learning the rules, but I'm still getting used to it. Most of them saw them for the first time within the last 20 minutes. So we're actually going to do this together at first because I wanted to show folks how you can not have a whole understanding of something, sit down, walk through it, talk about it, and then play this game. And the reason why I call it this game is a little bit more, if not significantly more RP heavy, although it does have a dice system. And they do call it, make sure I get this right.
The Illuminarian something.
Yeah. Rules of the world, rules of magic, rules of Candela Obscura. I just want to make sure I call it the right thing, but we'll go over it here in a moment. There's the intro. There it is. So it is the Illuminated Worlds game design system. And the system of Illuminated,
Illuminated world.
basically they're using a dice pool system, which is really cool. We have pre-generated characters that we're going to be using, so no one's going to introduce themselves in a moment, kind of quickly. But we're going to go over a couple things so everyone at least knows the basics, and then we're going to discover the details as we play the game. So I'm going to read a couple things first, give everyone kind of an insight to the game. The introduction. Candela Obscura is a horror tabletop role-playing game about occult investigators who hunt down dangerous supernatural forces, making incursions into a world very much like our own. Now, a world like our own, what does that mean? You are in the city of Faire. The world is irrelevant because you're in the city of Faire that exists on the ancient unknown city of Faire. These two cities, the way they exist, one is mythology, legend, and superstition. The new city is Victorian steampunk, for the most part, where there are cars and airships, but everything is very much themed in a Victorian style theme. Now, for anybody else out there that wants to run this game, you can actually run it in any thematic that you want, but I love Victorian steampunk, so we're going to kind of stick with that as our theme. And what's really neat is they are measured in case numbers. So if you only ever want to play as a one-shot, then you can. But at the end of the one-shot, you can actually elevate the characters if you want to. Candela Obscura is also the name of the paranormal secret society charged with protecting the sprawling turn-of-the-century city of Faire. Place built atop the ruins of an ancient fallen civilization still teeming with the remnants of powerful magic. Magic in this world is a little bit different than you would in like D&D and other types of magic interpretation. Magic in this world is affected by something they call the veil. This veil, so to speak, flare. It's called the flare. This magical barrier called the flare. Things happen, and these things that do happen are sometimes referred to as the flare, and becomes magic. The interpretation of magic is left up to the interpretation of your characters. Some might see magic as superstition and hokum. Yes.
Are they called flare-ups?
So, disadvantage all night.
Disadvantage
Also
isn't a
have
thing.
silly but cute questions.
Not yet.
You just eat your cotton candy.
I love cotton.
It's good cotton right there, actually.
Now, things that get touched by the flare through magical means will be affected by magic in something called bleed. This is where magic interacts with our physical world and either has positive, negative, or neutral effects on us. within
Okay,
the
so
world.
bleed detector isn't necessarily talking about like your bleeding.
Correct.
It's magic bleeding.
Correct. It's
bleeding
the
through the
ability
flare.
to detect magic.
Because I was looking at
The
that and
thinning.
I'm like, you're
Right.
like, you need a detector to tell if you're bleeding. And I'm like, I didn't see it. I was stabbed. Am I bleeding?
Though we've worked to collect the knowledge of this magic over the centuries, our understanding of these phenomena is still limited. We know they come from a realm beyond our own, but what they want and why they're here is still a mystery to us. Like the idea of, what was that series we watched on Netflix?
The one with the prairies?
No, Lock and Key.
Oh, I
Oh,
watched
yeah.
a little bit of that. That made me weirded
Yeah.
out, so I stopped
so
watching it
magic
after like almost
in
a
this
season.
game
I
is a
actually
little
have
bit like Lock and
the
Key.
comics for that.
The idea that not all magic is good, not all magic is bad, but a ghost being seen might be an extension of the flare. Therefore, it's having a magical effect on something. But the magic is, whether you try to control magic, could cause you to go insane, or it could suddenly give you a mystical ability to see into the future. So,
You know, like the locks were the only ones who could control the keys.
correct. And they kind of, there's a little, I don't know if they were influenced it by not or not. I know there's a reference to what they were influenced by, but maybe.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah, we
almost
did.
finished watching it, but
The new
Yeah, we
series
did.
with
Like
the
3 seasons.
Lock and key? No.
No, not that. No.
Oh, Lockwood and Co.
Lockwood and Co.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Lockwood
That
and
was
Co.
good.
That's
was,
what I meant.
That was
Sorry.
interesting.
Different lock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, not
Always-
that other one. I wasn't a fan of that other one.
very
Lockwood and
Lockwood and Co. was awesome.
Yeah.
That's how the
Okay.
magic is.
Because the fact that they, as soon as they got old enough, the magic faded.
Correct.
Can I have a side comment right now?
Hmm.
After hearing what you said and what I saw from that first episode, can I assume that this is what happens in the bad timeline or the good timeline, depending on your perspective, if they fail in saving the gods?
Oh, you talking about their current Critical Role game?
Yeah, that's my fan theory.
Well,
right
no,
now.
I think they're
Timeline?
prepping for Daggerheart in Critical Role. What I think they're prepping for is a new fantasy world.
This is the godless timeline.
Possibly. Where science trumps, magic.
As part of this organization, you will traverse the wide landscape of the Fairlands, facing off against unfathomable horrors within the crowded downtown streets of the Varnish, investigating strange disappearances in the cornfields of the Tottergrass, even delving into the writhing underground ruins of Old Faire to help us stop these powerful supernatural beings from tearing the world apart. So, quickly, the rules of the world. Candela Obscura takes place in a world that resembles our own. The average citizen neither knows about nor would believe in magic or its effects. There is a barrier known as the flare between the realm and beyond. This is what causes magic to come and go through phenomena. There are places where the flare is weakened, referred to as thinnings. These thinnings allow metaphysical energy known as magic to seep through the flare. The myths, legends, and folk tales of the Fairlands are stories created to explain real magical phenomena. So you are a specialized group within an organization. So you are a circle within the organization of the lighthouse. And this lighthouse is hoping to guide people through the fact that 99% of people don't know any of this is going on. So you have to operate in a world where people will think you're crazy if you try to talk to them. Like, in D&D, you just walk up to an elf and have a conversation about lightning bolt and how it kills people, and what you can do for it magic-wise. In this world, you could walk into a pub, have a pint, sit down, and talk to someone about, the strange misconfiguration of your hand because you touched a cursed item. They might call the police on you because they think you're crazy. So the world is much more wanting to be normal, while you are tapped into the fact that there's this thing called flare, and in the thinnings, magic is seeping through and either interacting with old folklore tales of items, people, cults, organizations, or
Are we still trying to
Illuminati.
keep it under, like not out of public eye?
yeah, to a certain degree, you're trying to.
Protect the
It's
public
kind of like
from
X
knowledge.
Files, right? Where he's going through the magazines. My lizard wife ran off with my UFO.
That's
Somewhere in there is the truth. So you may go investigate that, and while someone else just see it as,
I already
ridiculous.
have a way to kind of add to my character. Is that she has a palatial estate on the outskirts of town
Mm-hmm.
with
Is the name of your estate the thinning?
no.
Oh, it's too bad because that'd be very convenient for me.
That would be nice. So yeah, but it has a place where meetings could be held, things could be worked upon.
The name of your state is the city.
The thing. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing.
Well, why do you get to make it sound cool?
Oh, it'll be Thin Acre.
Ooh, I like that. Thin acres.
Thin Acre.
So, rules of magic. Magic can become infused in mundane objects, places, or beings, permanently altering them. If a thinning is opened wide enough, creatures from the beyond may also come through. Anything affected by magic or from another realm is known as phenomena. Bleed is the corrupted force left behind by powerful magic. This bleed also radiates for the phenomena that have made incursions into the world. When a person has too much bleed, maybe they may be taken over by these supernatural forces, become corrupted, or even die. The manifestation of bleed varies based on the phenomena.
But don't make them go.
Phenomenon. Phenomenon.
The scary thing is, I was thinking that about a minute or two ago when you first said phenomenon.
You should have joined in.
People with inherent magic are extremely rare in the mundane world. Many Candela Obscura members interact with magic by wielding powerful artifacts. These items may also reduce, contain, or eliminate bleed as well. Rules of Candela Obscura. Members of Candela Obscura are investigators of supernatural phenomena attempting to protect the world from these dangers by securing and studying them. The organization has a hierarchy that includes a council of lightkeepers who direct the resources of Candela Obscura. A small party set out by lightkeeper to investigate a phenomena is known as a circle. This mission is known as the assignment or case. There are Candela Obscura chapters, local enclaves of many members throughout the world. Each has access via a thinning to the organization's trans-dimensional vault known as the Fourth Pharaohs.
Can I request the most powerful, dangerous item in there?
No.
Please.
The Fourth Pharaohs is the fourth iteration of a lighthouse stronghold that sits within the flare. Inside there are vaults where the most powerful books, artifacts, and phenomena are kept for safety. The security of these vaults is maintained by centuries-old, constantly turning magical astrolabes. So imagine deep in the flare this lighthouse structure. This lighthouse structure contains these vaults of an unending source of artifacts, magic, and other things related to the flare.
So the ark is somewhere way back there.
Probably. The idea in New Faire is that your circle, which is a member Candela Obscura and is led by your lightkeeper, you're helping to make sure that not only do those vaults and astrolabes stay secret and secure, but as you find places where thinnings have occurred and magics and other phenomena have occurred, you recover whatever those sources are, you protect those secrets, and you get them back to your circle and Lightkeeper, to not only for further study, but to advance your own abilities. Does that make sense so far? Kind of.
That vault, it's magical in its own nature, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, to a certain degree.
And the
Yeah.
things that are protecting it also magical to an extent.
Correct. Now the cool part is that Candela Obscura and the Lightkeepers have access to a single thing that allows you to maintain access to the information of the four pharaohs, almost like a magical kind of like repository of potential information that you can gain through this particular thing. However, the more you interact with it, the more you can be subject to bleed and other magical effects depending on your own ability to resist that magic. That makes sense.
Crazy juice, fun stuff.
Yes.
Good, don't stick our head in.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our character sheets. So let's start with Alexandra. Well, you deserve it. You're over there enjoying your flipping cotton candy, making snide commentary and remarks.
I've been looking at cupcake for the last 15 minutes. I think we're all allowed to enjoy what we
So what are you playing this evening? Ooh, that's awesome.
Was
I
that
am
smart
playing the explorer.
The Explorer.
in the
So,
role of muscle.
there is classes and roles. So as an explorer, talk about your different. So you have, yeah. Talk about your different skills. What do you have
You
there?
have the thing at the top too.
So first one and bottom one. The second
Well, so let's start with one of the things they give you in the Quick Start Guide is this really cool thing called the Field Guide, which helps everybody better understand how the basics of the mechanics of their character works. So, the three most important abilities, I like to call them, although technically they're just drives. So you have these drives called nerve, cunning, and intuition. Within each one of those drives, you have three abilities. So you have move, strike, control, sway, read, hide, survey, focus, and sense, all of which exist under each one of those drives. Now, this is a D6 pool system using what's called a gilded dice for special purpose, and we'll talk about that. Now, for example, as a explorer, let's say you are in a hallway of a mansion and you're trying to figure out where a possible secret door might be. So you might use your survey, you might use your sense, or you might use your read, depending on which you might be more prolific in. So of those three, which one do you think you're better in? Remember, a filled-in dot is a darkened circle around the dot. That's the default number that you have. No, you don't see it?
They have the other little gray
It's
dots.
Probably gonna be the nerve.
So for you, yeah,
Probably
so
nerve.
down under intuition, survey, you have 2d6 already,
That's okay.
right? Now look at your drive.
That's the dark circles.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your default. So you see the drives for intuition? Where it's shaded in, how many you already have?
Right.
So what's that total?
For intuition.
So here, let me show. So up here, you see how you have, okay, so cunning and nerve have those, but your intuition does not. So for survey, if you decided to use survey as you're examining a hallway or a bookcase to see if you can find the secret room, we get 2d6 as your dice roll. Now, because there's no diamonds on those, that would be all your roll. It's 2d6. 1, 2, 3, a failure. Wait, 1, 2, a failure. 3, 4, 5, a mixed success. 6, a success. Right? Or is
Yeah.
1 a failure?
Okay, 1 through 3 is a failure. 4 and 5 is a mixed success, and 6 is a success.
Correct. Thank you. I'm not used to that.
I'm trying to remember what the style catalyst in question are.
50% is failure.
Our page though.
Right, but degrees of failure, moderate success, and extreme success, failure will cause harm. Right, so you may suffer bleed. You may suffer, if you look up in the upper
Body or brain.
right-hand corner, there's body, brain, and bleed.
Yes.
So depending on the roles of your outcome, you get to kind of define your own successes and failures. Moderate successes I can help you define through the narrative point that you're trying to make that discovery at that point. But the only time we ever really make roles is when they matter, like when you're in a situation where the role is needed to help kind of determine an outcome. Like if you're asking a question or making an investigation or persuading someone, which in this case they call it sway. Now, in this case, right, so nerve is everything to do with your move, strike, and control, right? Let's say you wanted to strike someone, or let's say you want to narrate out a style of move that you're trying to do, or let's say you were trying to control a situation somehow. Then you would use one of those three abilities to do that. If you're operating off your cunning, that is sway, read, and hide. So let's say you're hiding from someone. Maybe you're trying to read someone intuitively, or read the situation intuitively, or maybe you're trying to sway or convince someone to do something. We'll use that. Survey, focus, and sense is related to your intuition drive, right? So let's say you're trying to physically try to figure out where to go. Maybe you're trying to, let's say you're reaching in to something that is obviously being affected by magic, but you can see a stone inside this little cubby that you're looking at. And you described to me, I want to focus and I want to think about a time as a young child when I was happy as I reach into the cubby to grab that stone that clearly made of magic. And let's say you roll 1, 2, 3, and the die roll. I'm going to say, oof, yeah. Just got affected by mind and belief because it was such a horrible roll. But let's say you rolled a 4 and 2 6s. Then I might describe not only are you able to retrieve a stone, but you realize now that your third index finger has been affected by magic. And whenever you wave your hand in front of places that you suspect might be a secret door or a secret chamber, you get an extra d6 on your roll. So there are positive, negative impacts that might be able to happen. But you're the narrator. You're the one that, as I just described for you what you're interacting with, just like we've been practicing with this particular Monday night game we've been playing for almost a year now, we're actually getting a little bit deeper into the storytelling as players for you. Because now what you get to do is you get to, like, let's say you decide to charge someone, and you say, I'm going to charge them, throw them to the ground, and then strike them in the face as hard as I can. Well, instead of rolling initiative, you just do it. And we're going to use your D6 dice pool to determine how well you do it. See the main difference in the mechanics there? Sure.
Show us your pose.
These are
Give us a
examples.
pose. Give us a
Show
pose.
us, show us your
Give us,
gun.
give
Show
us,
us your
give us muscles.
bros.
Give us muscles. She's actually really strong, guys.
Being a therapist kind of does that too.
Here's a question that she might have answered. What's the style catalyst in question?
Say that again?
The style catalyst in question. I remember it had something to do with our backstory or why we're in that organization, but I can't remember
Yes.
what they are exactly.
Well, I think it could be anything.
Well, I mean, I don't remember the style is specifically, but catalyst I think is what started you down the path.
Right. It
and
could
the
literally
question
be
might
anything.
yeah, but
That's something.
It's not remember, the other nice thing about the backstories of your characters in this system is when they ask you the catalyst of what brought you into it, it might be a part of your backstory that makes you more resistant to bleed. It might be a negative term of your backstory. Maybe the catalyst was you experienced a time in your life where people suddenly went missing. So whenever you're involved in a story about people going missing, you become more nervous, more trepidatious in your approach to these particular things. So the catalyst could literally be anything that you want.
so and the question is probably what you're trying to figure out from being part of the
Right.
Obscura
I mean, yeah, like
organization.
for anybody dabbling in the occult, right? Why are you willing to be part of that 1% that might be being insane or crazy or liars? But it's a world that you believe in, right? You believe in that world. So why does your character believe in it?
I'm trying to figure out what the style is because I just keep thinking, yeah, I'm stylish, but that doesn't make sense.
I don't know if the style is even that important, really. I think it's just backstory development. You can do whatever you want.
I was just trying to figure out what the style was. Is it literally what you're wearing?
Or it could be your parents.
No, I think it could either be your appearance, your the vibe you give off. Are you hyperactive? Are you like kind of quirky? Are you kind of difficult to work with? Are you?
Okay.
So I think that's where that might be coming from. But they didn't really dabble in that much.
Okay. So I just
Really
wanted
go that
to
deep
try.
into it.
I like to fill out my
No,
needs.
that's fine.
I want to know what they are before
Yeah.
I.
Now, drives are pretty important, and the diamond is pretty important. If your drive for your nerve, cunning, or intuition is empty, that means you have no drive in those abilities. If you have a well, you're muscle. If you have a filled-in diamond against your ability, if a filled-in diamond against move, strike, control, sway, read, hide, survey, focus, or sense, that means you get to use a gilded dice. So when we talked about that special colored dice, whenever you roll with that dice, if you roll a 6 or a success with it, then you get your drive refreshed. You only ever have one gilded roll.
No, like,
have two.
it's, no. You
There's
have
only
it
one
for which
diamond
action that
per
you're
action.
using.
Okay. So you got one.
However, you could have multiple recoveries over time.
One for control,
It's when you're performing an action, like, if you decide you wanna move,
Those
I
are
don't
called
have any-
gilded actions.
yeah, I don't have any, so my built-in ones are in cunning. So in sway and hide, I get to use a gilded die in place of a D6.
Or the face over on top of.
On top of.
So kind of like
Exactly.
how
So
we get
let's
a
say-
bonus
So it's
when you
not
have a
replacing,
colored
so I get my
yeah, you get a
Correct.
double dice.
So basically,
Exactly like that.
Actually,
the filled-in circle or the solid circles are how many dice you start with.
Correct.
And then if you choose to use a drive point, you can add to it.
correct. So the maximum number of drive that you have for one of those three abilities.
So, in
So,
my
for
case,
example, if in cunning you have 6 drive, and you wanted to use sway, and let's say you have 2 d6 already in sway. Let's say it's in a real important role. Let's say you guys have captured someone that knows the location of a particular object that you have to find. And this is like everything to you as a
So
group.
if I want to command them to tell us the
You would describe, you role play out, listen, Peter, you gotta find this. You need to find it now. Right? So you're narrating out how you're intimidating them, forcing them to get that information. Now, the more dice you roll, the more
higher.
potential for
chance
success,
for success.
right? There's also an equal chance of random failure. So maybe while let's say you fail miserably, he inadvertently slips out a penknife from his wrist, slices through his ropes, and then slices you across the face, and then jumps out a window.
Falls 50 feet in the dark.
And then we lose.
Because there is no feather fall in this world.
He shouldn't have fallen on top of that right on his face.
So sad.
So the beauty of this is we don't have to worry about initiative anymore, and you have all the ability now to be as narrative as you want. And we can use the mechanics to help you either succeed, fail, or have a moderate mixed success. So if you have a moderate mix, but back to the point of the number of drive dice. So let's say you decide to use 4 points of drive, you've marked those 4 off. You have 2 points in sway, and let's say it's a gilded action. That'd be 7 dice.
So how do you get additional drive points? Is that
As your character
character
progresses.
grows?
Correct.
Okay.
Also, you can get them back during a mission if you roll a gilded dice and
Yes.
you choose that.
Well, that's
Correct. So let's say you
that's
had a
the-
success
the
with your
dice that you use.
Yeah.
yeah. Let's say your gilded dice is a
So,
success.
let's
Then you
see.
can refresh one of your drive.
You can only refresh. You can't add one. If you're
Correct.
using a gilded dice, you can't just add one back just because you're
Just because you used a gilded dice. No,
Yeah,
it
what
needs to
happened,
be a
yeah.
successful use
So-
of a gilded dice.
So basically, you need to use your drive points in order to get rewarded for using a gilded dice.
You need to use your drive points because you really want to be successful.
Right.
Because you could still use a lot of drive and not be gilded.
Right.
All the gilded does is give you an opportunity to get at least one drive point back.
But you can't get one back if you've never spent.
It's just over my.
Oh,
Correct. You don't spend any drive, then you don't get any back.
Right, so like my character is well balanced in that I got drive points of all three, nerve, cunning, and intuition. But cunning is really my focus because both of my diamonds are
So I had to be
high.
Correct.
So
And as your character advances or suffers failure, you may choose to switch that.
So can you, as your character develops, does that mean you could like actually say put control? I could add control as like a guild of dice.
Or even better yet, let's say you. So what's your intuition?
It's 3 drive points to start,
Okay.
but I have like 2 in sense and 1 in focus. as
2 in
far as
sense
my
and 1 in
dice.
focus. Okay. What's your strongest one that you have?
It's probably going to be either cunning or high.
Okay.
Or I
What's
should
your
say
weakest one that you have?
It's probably going to be nerve because I've only got 1.
So let's say you're in a situation where it relies on nerve and you fail miserably. Your mental outcome might be you decide to swap nerve with your best ability because you suffered so egregiously within your nerve. So that's one possible outcome that can happen because of taking mind damage.
Okay.
So the fails and successes begin to help you understand what you can and can't do. Are you?
All right.
Do we need to reboot you, Rick? You're over there with.
My eyes. Just,
I thought she was doing a computer reboot. It's really not that hard once you're in the game.
Like
It starts
Dungeons
to
and
make
Dragons,
sense.
it's a lot of upfront and then you get
No,
engaged in
the action economy in Dungeons and Dragons is actually really horrible. This takes away the challenges of initiative, or the impediment of
I'm
initiative.
talking about the you have to get over the
Trying to remember move, bonus action, reaction.
Trying to remember all of the mechanics of your turn.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that now because your single narrative point could completely conclude the encounter. Kind of like how we've been playing with heroic actions. Kind of the same concept, only it's now a dice pool of D6 to kind of determine that. So thoughts so far? Any questions? I mean, obviously we're gonna hit hurdles as we go.
Yeah.
And obviously your circle doesn't have to have a name yet. You're gonna get introduced to your light keeper and we'll kind of launch the game from that point. That will you gotta keep it simple and a little
Start
bit.
with the name and build from there.
Yeah, because the beauty of this now you can have fun with these characters for when we do future one shots with different case numbers.
I think that should be Yoda.
Huh?
Or something.
how about Yoda
Oh.
1?
Yoda one.
Yoda best.
Yoda best.
Yogurt.
Yogurts.
Mr. Brooks.
You have a question?
I did and then I forgot what it was.
I did it. I forgot what it was.
Oh, wait, I do remember.
And then
It says I can make explosives.
Oh, by the way, in the very center of your column, you have special abilities that should already be indicated with a diamond. It has to be a filled-in diamond.
Oh, okay.
Empty
Yeah.
diamonds you do not know yet as your special abilities. The only special ability you know is the one that's filled in.
Okay, so I
Okay.
don't get these down
Cool.
here?
No.
But I want to explosives.
I understand, but you don't get to be elite in the very first case. Sorry. And the descriptor of that special ability is pretty much to the point. If you
I
read
know
what it
a
says.
guy.
Yeah, I know a guy.
Please, can I make explosives?
No. So
Not yet.
we have our intrepid explorer Alexandra over here. Carla, what are you playing?
Lady Lorla Mechanica.
And what are you?
I am a upper class landowner that basically
Are you a cultist or?
I am an occultist.
Okay, that's what I was originally
Yes,
looking for.
okay.
Now you can do that.
Okay. Basically, my backstory is I recovered from a catastrophic incident where I basically have a clockwork arm and a leg. And it was the on my estate that is on the outside of the city. My husband and my daughter both died in a
And that's what brought you in.
Oh, yeah.
To
And-
locate your light keeper and get involved in protecting the world. Do you believe that a phenomenon occurred when this happened?
because the spirit of my daughter is trapped in a glass jar.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Willow, what are you playing?
I am Lady Elizabeth.
What? Are you playing another person I can't hear?
I am Lady Elizabeth Mason. Does this make you happy?
Yes, he is very happy.
Happy.
Anyway,
Did you see my happiness?
Note yourself, lean more this way, not that way.
my name is Elizabeth Mason.
Von Mason.
I actually thought about doing that. Now I'm actually going to do it. I thought about it
You
so
had
many
to
times.
add
Lady Mason.
Von Mason.
Don't
Mason. Von Mason.
No, use the wrong finger, Carla.
I am
Bone Mason.
I am a
I like the way
scholar. I am a scholar, and I first got introduced to the
your
weird when I was just a child. My father brought home a stone that was magical in nature, but I did not know what it was. And when I touched it, it did weird things. But it was wonderful and magical, and I loved it. But I found later that my family had been entranced in this new world for some time, and I grew up with the best knowledge and the best studies, and I learned many things. And I want to understand more about this strange phenomenon, and I want to find out how to benefit the world.
I love it.
And of course, I have my loyal assistant.
Giggy Wicket.
Kiki Wicket. I am an occultist. My family is throughout known to be occultist. I'm 6'2". I only wear a black robe. My father is Igor Wicket. I have, if you look at me, I'm very odd because I have a hump on one side. But if you look at me in another direction, the hump moves.
She is a very loyal assistant.
My family has been in the weird for a long time. And for some reason, we always seem to become assistants for weird families. And today I have found her.
I love it. You know?
I am Nero Rosemont.
Emphasize Rosemont. Did you see the pinky in the teacup?
Would you like to borrow my teacup?
170 pounds. I wear a classic black hat. I'm a magician.
Very nice.
Coat with tails, black with scarlet lining, black pants, silver pinstripe. I have a monocle. I have a goatee with the little curlies on the end of the mustache. I also have a bullet wound scar in my collarbone, which is part of what drew me into the concept of the flare and the near-death experience of a magic trick gone awry.
You know
It's
how I
made
know
me-
this game's going to be loved by this man? You all right over there, Callista? You look very concerned. No? Does your mouth hurt? Does your mouth hurt? Does your psyche hurt?
Are you suffering from the bleed?
You just consumed that much sugar and you got mellow. It's like the polar opposite of what sugar is designed to do.
Well,
It is actually
there
a
is no such
scientific
thing as a
phenomenon.
coma.
Unless you're bipolar, then it does have the opposite effect.
Yeah.
It's not just bipolar.
I'm not bipolar.
Suddenly you're all the way up here now.
I'm bipolar bear.
There you go. Throw cookies at me.
That's
So we
right.
have Nero the magician, we have Giggity Wicket the occultist, and we have Elizabeth the professor, Mechanica the occultist as well, and then we have Alexandra the explorer. Muscle. City, you It is a sprawling masterpiece of decadence, new age steam industrial existence, where the meat and bone of the population grinds away at menial and mundane tasks to keep themselves alive, fed, sheltered in this massive metropolis. Sprawling along the coastal region, there are towns and communities that exist in the fringe, some of the more infamous mining towns and shipyards and other places that make up the outskirts of New Fair. But for the most part, New Fair itself offers up a unique opportunity for the Lightkeepers to bring in new talents, to bring in folks that some would say are touched or possibly inherently designed for this kind of work. One of the most infamous Lightkeepers goes by the name of Lillian.
Yes.
I'll let you write. You can remind me.
You've had a busy day, haven't you?
I really have.
The day you don't want to take notes.
I don't want to type. I don't want to.
Had 5 appointments
Five
today.
massages today, and like maybe 2 half-hour
Let's
breaks.
see those guns again.
And it's just like bam, 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 and I'm just like, I'm here playing.
Put it down to like 4 instead of 5 on Monday.
Lightkeeper Lillian exists in a mansion in a small neighborhood called the Ebony Sway. In this small neighborhood, it is made up of maybe a dozen or so mansions of what some would call elite business owners, investors, prideful individuals that seek wealth and notoriety through that wealth. However, Lillian's unusual case. Rumors have it that she has lived an extremely long life. Although people don't know exactly why. And in
How long
this,
are we talking?
well over 100 years. And
Human?
some would say that she doesn't look a day over 50.
Does she appear to be?
She does appear to be human.
Well, so do elves if you don't know enough this.
No
That's why I
pointy
said, does she
teeth,
appear to
pointy
be
ears.
human?
She does appear to be human.
She's
However,
glamour, too.
the 5 of you find yourselves in the lobby of her mansion state. The drive on the custom steam vehicle she supplied a little bit here, and then the footman brought you into the lobby area of the estate. However, it is not Lillian who greets you. Within moments of your arrival, as you are sipping at tea and coffee and getting to get acquainted with each other once again, you've worked with each other before, although in either research roles or investigative roles of confirming what other role or what other circles have done before. However, you've been formed as a circle for the very first time. When you each the opportunity to realize that you're being called to a Lightkeeper's estate, and perhaps finally having your circle formed and be given your very first case to resolve the Candela Obscura organization. That's what brought you here. However, as the 5 of you sit there, the footman patiently waiting by a set of stairs, of enjoying tea and coffee.
Here. I'm very carefully not to break my t-shirt.
I'm sorry for the delay. What's your nerve? No, what's your nerve?
For the move or the strike or the control, the nerve is actually the highest.
No, that's fine. I think that's a good point. So, what's your move? No, what's your control?
Oh, the control is, I don't have any of them high level.
You have no,
So your Oh, okay, yeah, it's not. Yeah, just give me a d6.
Wait, she doesn't have any in control? That
So
means
yeah.
she may roll 2 and takes the worst roll. Because that it's
Does that mean it's disadvantage?
I don't remember. Did you read that part?
Yeah, they said if you don't have any if you don't have any circles, that means you'd roll 2.
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah, roll 2d6 and take the lower of the 2 rolls. Correct?
Wow.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm a dork.
No, you're right. I remember. You're right.
I
I'm-
rolled
I'm-
a 1.
You rolled a 1.
Yes, I rolled a 5 and a 1.
Are you
Oh,
drinking
my.
coffee or tea?
It was
Tea is now down the front of you and it's scalding hot as the footman makes the announcement. So, oh dear. Margaret? Towel, please.
Alexandra.
trying to decide if I'm going to check this head on.
Well, it's
Uh,
already on
terribly
there, so
sorry.
it's less damage.
Don't irritate the staff.
Master Brackmire will be with you shortly. I do apologize for the delay. Let me get you a towel and another cup of tea. I apologize. He kind of turns and heads towards the kitchen area, leaving the 5 of you alone in the sitting room at the foot of the stairs.
The tea was mediocre recently.
So he left us
Oh, you
alone.
have the wrong tea.
As soon as he left us alone, I pull a flask out and add it to my coffee.
Okay.
And then tap it and stick it back beside my desk coffee.
Are you
Okay.
truly starting the day off like that again?
I can't stand, so I'd be behind her.
Come now, Nero. I'm sure you remember Lorelai.
Don't you know a little hair of the dog helps you get you through your day?
Black robed individual reaching out. Great. There you go.
Anyways,
The company we keep.
we get the job done. We find nice meetings.
Let's get this home. There's other things to
When
do.
she's not looking.
You know the difference between a brown noser and a kiss ass.
One tastes better.
Tastes better.
What?
You never heard that one before? I heard that one before, but I never heard that one before.
Yeah, what would you do?
I said kiss better. It
One
tastes
tastes
better.
better.
One tastes better. Why are you going around tasting brown nosers and kiss asses?
Well, I just happen to be a professor in everything requires study.
Your knowledge
Why does that require study?
expensive.
Too much.
Anything
Well,
but
ladies and
knowing-
gentlemen, I want to apologize for my delay. I was, well, I guess there's no time like the present to make this announcement. My name is Montgomery Rockmire, and I am the new lightkeeper in the state. Mistress Lillian has moved on. Unfortunately,
Does that mean she left or she died?
she has passed. Like that.
I guess we shouldn't have written that down.
And-
Where was she being interred?
Well, I sworn to them, but worked that detail out. Unfortunately.
How did she die?
Well, that's the matter of discussion that we need to have in that regard. And unfortunately, for me to be able to trust all of you in this clandestine way that we exist in, I must ask that you take the circle's oath without me telling you the details of your past. If you take the circle's oath, you are bound to the Obscura, you're bound to yourselves, and you may not speak to any of this other than myself or other light keepers that have been given permission to deal with such information.
Will we be assigned a different right keeper?
I will be your assigned light keeper.
You are?
Montgomery Quagmire. You may
Sure
call me
thing,
Monty
Monty.
for short if you would.
I
Montgomery Mark.
Where do you hail from, sir?
Born and raised in New Faire proper, I'm sure. I am 7th generation rock.
Nice to meet you, monkey.
And where's your stake, sir?
I'm not. Well, this is my estate as well. It's a very complicated story, but I will fill you in shortly. Do
Are
you
you
take
any relations with my man?
it doesn't quite work that way. But once again, I cannot give you this information unless you take the oath of the circle.
My family has been has dealt with this for some time. I think I am ready.
Thanks, Lady Elizabeth. Thank you.
Hesitance.
I'm sure you knew of the Masons.
Lady Mechanica, I can assure you, your skills, your background are very important. The Order's protection of secrecy and the binding of the circle is necessary in order for me to share this very important information, not to mention you and your circle will become a very important part of our future endeavors together.
And how do we bind to the circle? Do we like cut our palms and like push them against each other? Like
If
how-
you would like to do that, I will not take that away from
I
you.
will not be
It's
taking
random happen. I'm just catching
Random
up cookies during the whole thing.
Yes, I would love that.
Well, I mean, how do people normally do it?
Some take an oath. Some ask for a vaulted item of the Pharaoh's vault to swear that words over.
Oh, do we take it?
Sure, if you choose to.
I think it's an item that it's let's take it.
I would like the most powerful magical item you have in the vault.
Don't know if I even know what that is. But I do have a very neat pen.
Pen?
A pen, a writing.
Does it write on its own?
No, that would be very sad. Do you know how this works?
No.
We prevent things like that from getting out.
Oh, right.
But why? You can have someone.
Well, that's right, you're the muscle. Oh my god.
Well,
Can I
She did
choose
call me
my
monkey.
own weapon?
Well,
You'd
you
like
know,
to be
the
provided a weapon?
muscle,
I have a dagger. Just think
Okay.
of this.
You want us to swear on
If
your
things
jacket?
get out, then we'd have to do it. That's not good.
Why
I
not
have
swear
to
on
think
his
that the
dagger?
entire premise of this is
Swing.
to learn more
Anyways,
about
Mastonero,
people.
what did you say?
with the muscle, you must
I just don't want to
gain
like
your
out.
confidence
Because then
in
we'd
order
have to
to
deal with
guide
it. Do you
them
want to
in the
spend your money to
direction
deal with it?
No, I will spend my father's money.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm beginning to wonder if I've called the wrong room.
I've been entrenched in this since I was a small child. Are you going to take it from me now when I am the cusp of losing money?
No, Lady Elizabeth,
Calm down.
I apologize.
It's more if we
I don't think
all
that
agree. Not just.
Big. I thought you
Anyways,
I thought you were still
So, you are free to name your circle. Like, you are free to take whatever oath. I just need an
I think-
affirmation.
we
That
should
you-
name our circle Monkey Ward.
No. What? I have a name. The Phenomenons.
No, because we're trying to catch phenomena.
Exactly.
We don't want to be phenomenons. Then we'd get thrown in the ball.
How about the weird phenomenon?
I think you just want to say the word over and over again.
Not phenomenons. We're trying to catch phenomenons.
The non-phenomenons.
No, we're not doing non-phenomenons.
Monkey, what was?
Monkey Ward. Montgomery Ward. I mean, you're old. You should know what Montgomery Ward is.
Dude, that's fucked up. That's just straight. Like, fucked up.
We could be the Mervins.
Perfect.
This is me hiding in my teacup now.
So you'll be joining the order as the Circle of Geico or Gemco. Sorry, the Circle of Gemco.
Montgomery Wards. It was like Sears.
Oh, he remembers.
Yeah,
He's
we
just
call it Monkey Wards.
really, really wondering at the lashing.
He's older than me. He should remember Montgomery Ward.
Yes, indeed.
I'm almost as old as Shiloh.
Oh, I thought you were older. Sorry. I don't remember. How old are you?
There's a
the
6'2"
same age,
hung
see?
person
52
dying in
July.
the background.
Next month.
I'm the oldest in the group. I'm 53.
And then you have your relative 33-year-old.
I have you know, I have lived many lifetimes.
Well, now that we've made this agreement, I think we've made it.
Agreed.
As you know, we've been operating under the organization of the Obscura with the intent of making some initial investigations for us, as well as to making study in local academia. This has afforded us the opportunity to take your findings and use them for other purposes. I reached out to the 5 of you because I felt that you'd be best fit for this particular investigation. Now, please, follow me up to Lillian's bedchamber.
Is she still in there?
Yes, she is.
Excellent.
He begins
Do we get to
leading you
examine her?
guys up the stairs. And as you begin to walk up the stairs, you
Master,
kind of
do
begin
not
to
touch
look
that.
around
No touch
and
that.
seeing all the
Touch her.
portraits, and
Are they moving?
they don't appear to be moving.
Are the eyes following us?
No, but
Is there a glow behind them?
Is the landscape changing in them?
it's not that the landscape changes, but it feels like you're passing through generations of her. Like, but she's never young. She just seems the same age the whole time that you're walking up the stairs, but clearly she's being painted in historical landscape. In fact, all of you walk by the great Faire fire of like a certain period, 25 years ago, and it's exactly the same. And you pass a dedicated oil painting to her where she's opening up a famous orphanage that was opened up 32 years ago. It looks the same.
Montgomery, I must ask. I never met this nice character, Lillian, but she has rumors about her. Does she have potential touched the lead in ways that have changed her?
Is she a gift? Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure if gift's absence is what caused her demise, and if possibly individuals might be involved. It was a gift she received from the local Benedictines that served in Faire. They were scholars of stellar study, and some 132 years ago, they gifted her family a charm, like leading you to the top of the landing and into the hallways, having this discussion with you. But the hallway,
Is it in the portraits?
yes, you do notice it in the portraits. That you like, as he's telling the story, you glance, and around her neck is this beautiful, woven golden chain with this multifaceted, multicolored stone at the very end of the chain. Very much a pendant.
More like a
format.
choker?
A little bit. And what's
Sure.
interesting is like the chain are like fingers that clasp around her neck where the stone is in the middle.
What's that resistance?
It's multicolored. It's made
Rainbow.
of
So
many
like
colors.
a opal?
Yeah, like an opal iridescent. Yeah, that would be the best way to describe when you stare at it. And then that musty smell of a room and a hallway and a floor of an old mansion that just only every now and then gets aired out. You hear the door. He opens up the door to lead you into the bedchamber. There, in a very posh, velvet-style constructed bedroom. Everything is fabric walled with paintings and very much bourgeois style decorations, but almost very kind of they never get clean. They never get on their own. They never get clean. They never get updated. This room appears to have not been lived in for at least a year. Lying over on the four-poster bed with the big cover over it, you see a figure lying on the bed. She looks very much like she's been dead for a long time.
This
Smell
one-
dead.
This morning.
This morning.
Morning, and she looks like she's been dead for a while. Like
Like desiccated dead?
desiccated, yeah, like she looks like her body's 130 years old.
You can give me a sense check. Anybody's free to give me a sense
Well,
check
I
if you want.
can
My,
I don't have the spots in it.
I do have. I do.
Take a look.
Yes.
I do have one.
So 1d6. 2. Okay.
That is
My
actually
question
It's
was,
4.
I have a
Mixed
nine.
success.
going to be like the smell of the root.
Okay.
So I'm kind of curious if
Okay.
it smells decent or if it smells,
I would like to actually,
The room.
yeah, I would like to inspect
You want to use
Is
survey
that a
then?
reroll or is
It's
that
focus.
Focus. Okay.
because that makes it one of them's gilded.
Okay.
Ooh.
Go for
And
it.
I
Do you want
have-
to spend any drive? Because if you don't spend any drive, if you're gilded in success, you don't get any drive back anyways. Otherwise, you just get the fact that the guild is successful.
I want to inspect to see if there has been anybody who has come in here, aside from perhaps staff, somebody that was malicious, something that might have noted a struggle or unfamiliar fingers.
Okay.
I want to inspect on
Okay.
that. So I'm going to serve as one of my dice.
Okay. Go for it.
Reroll the dice that pop it out or count
You
it
can
as
use it.
a
It's fine.
I got a 6, but it's not the drive one. I got a 1 and a 1 and a 6.
Okay.
Stop
And
throwing it.
I'm
Just drop
going
it.
to
Okay, finally, a 6.
I'm going to do the same thing, but my diamond is in cents.
Okay. So that's gilded.
Well, you don't.
No, I was
Fling it at
bouncing
me.
it. I was bouncing in the middle and
Just
bouncing
do-
through.
A 6 and a 2.
No,
So
you
success.
gotta roll like you're playing craps.
No, because this is not a craps table. It's a D&D table.
Hey,
She's very sensitive
with my
about rolling
one,
dice.
with my 1 and my 6, I got a 7, so it's a winner.
That is not how that works.
So I got a mixed success on my sense and a success on my focus.
Okay. And what were you using, Charlie? Or
Sense.
Kanika? Sense. And you were using
The sense.
sense.
Oh.
You told me sense, so I had.
Well, you can either sense or focus. It's up to you.
What are you doing in the
sense,
room?
Sense was my 2 dice. roll.
Okay. Good to know.
I can focus.
Well, focus is more if you're being
Yes,
very
yes.
specific about your search, or like
So,
you know.
have
you're just kinda-
those
Oh.
It should look like she was, like, her body is a little.
From your perspective, her body looks aged, like no decomposition, but the skin is tight to the bone. No smell of rot. It's just she looks like a 125-year-old
So you actually get a breed if you have the diamond?
No. That one just replaces one of them, and if you've spent any of your drive,
I'm at max drive.
yeah, you just put all those in advice and then you need a pencil?
If I'm gonna.
Look at that! I have pencils! I am useful!
So you fill this in with the number or on the drive?
You just fill in the notch that you. So if you use the drive, you fill
Don't
in
you
one
see
of the
over
empty
there?
squares.
There is something interesting you should see.
And your maximum drive for that ability is below that.
Yeah.
The ones that are already pre-filled.
Yeah.
That just tells you when you run out of drive.
Because I have 2 of them at the bottom of maxes.
Right. So you only have the maximum of 2 drive in that ability. You just use one.
How does resistance work?
Resistance is you can re-roll.
In intuition, she has 6 drive. There's yes, 3 here and then 3 here. All those.
And,
Yeah.
and
So you have 6, not 2.
you only
Why-
have
you said 2, so I just.
She
said
she
that
gets
too.
2 naturally. It's under sense.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then with the resistance, if the circles are not filled in, you don't have them, or?
That means you haven't
No.
used them.
One of them is
Yep,
So
replaced.
that's
so I-
3 resistances that you have, 2 rolls.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, okay, so yes. It says you have 2.
Or is that just
Do you have
per
your diamond? So one of them is replaced with your
perception.
gilded die.
And then
So you roll
they
it
refresh.
unless you want
normally
to
when you
move
start
your
a
drive
session.
points, which you can do another die. You have a limited use for this entire investigation. They will not refresh unless you can get them back.
Through gilded.
I just lost
What's
one
your
of
3
mine.
your diamonds?
Yeah,
I had a diamond.
it's 3 dice with 1, one gilded.
Okay.
Okay. So
Oh,
then
that's her
I
special
should've-
ability?
So then I should have rolled 3
You get
dice.
one more
instead of
dice.
just 2.
No,
So mine's
No, one of them's replaced with two gilded.
no.
No, it's including the gilded.
So, that's a
I'm
lot.
pretty sure it's included. Isn't it's replaced by it?
Yep.
Okay, I'll have to reread that rule because I thought it was included. Okay, so it's replaced.
Oh,
'Cause
so
she-
it is replaced.
Okay.
I read that too, and he told me otherwise, so that's.
Okay,
so
that's
play
on me.
it too.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I haven't. This is my first time playing, guys. So if you don't
it's his
let
first
me
run
know
for
what's
as well.
going on,
I'm
I
still,
don't know what to do.
I just don't like correcting the DM. It just makes me feel bad.
That's an old way of thinking. You've been playing with me long enough to
That
know that's
involves
not.
bad dice drawing.
Yeah. So it replaces one of your dice. Okay. I thought it was included in your dice pool.
Ja, this is how it is.
Okay. So with your roll, you notice that she seems very ancient. With your roll, as you examine the room, there's two things you notice that are quite interesting. Number one, there's no window in the room. The only light sources are all the oil lanterns, along with some mixed electric lighting as well, because the estate does have a steam-powered generator on the premise. Seems to be the only light source in here. The other thing you notice is that one of the paintings looks like it's been recently damaged.
How is it done?
And what were you doing specifically?
I was smelling the air.
The air doesn't exhibit any signs of rot. It mostly smells musty. But there is a kind of odor that is reminiscent of cinnamon and sugar. So, as you can see here, it's just Lillian on the bed.
Is
No.
that painting always like this?
No, he did not. As far as I know, when the staff came up here this morning to drop off their normal breakfast, they discovered her. Yes. However, she was absent her pendant around her neck. She has never taken off during her entire life since she got the pendant. The pendant cannot be found. I have had some of the local staff do the research. However, staff do not know it. Only one person on staff knows. The one who delivered breakfast. We have her in the lower basement. Secure. There is an opportunity to care for them, but we worry about that.
Where was the lady?
She is downstairs in the basement. I want the kitchen prepared for this. We have sent most of the staff home, or we forced them back to their quarters. 4 of the staff are live-ins, including one of the women on breakfast.
Who attended her last night?
That I do not know. This is why I called you here. I am going to ask that I recuse myself from this investigation. I told you all that I know and all I'm capable of telling you. The conditions of the pendant have obviously impacted her ability to stay alive. The pendant must be found and returned. I will not be taking up the net or pendant again. I have found that to be a dangerous way to be living. And I'm relying on my own skills and understanding of this world to help me guide yourselves through it. I will be taking over her duties as soon as we make the discovery of the pendant and return to the nearest pharaoh representative.
Can
To it.
Can you tell me more about this painting before you go? You said it is different. Can you tell me how?
It is damaged. I know nothing else about it.
Can you point me? You go with me.
But good luck. You hear the door. You can hear his footsteps lead down the hallway. Is the 5 of you are alone in the bedroom?
You just follow. We are going to cut them through the lazy meat.
Okay. What do you want to use for that?
Survey?
Okay. Survey.
I suppose a quick examination of the breakfast before we head to
Yep.
the
2d6.
A quick examination of the breakfast before we leave. But,
Oh, I got a 6 and a 2.
6 and a 2. Question: when you were reading the rules about the dice rolls,
Mhm.
isn't it an aggregate of the number of dice used? So, like a 6 and a 2 is a mixed success, because a 2 is a failure, and a 6 is a success, right? Isn't that considered a mixed success?
I'm uncertain about that because when I was watching them play, they could have just calling them the highest dice that they had.
Okay.
So they were all using the highest. That's what I thought too.
So I got a 6.
So
The only difference is if you roll six successes, it's considered more.
that's right.
Unless you're rolling at disadvantage.
So if you're
then it
using
doesn't matter.
2d6 and you roll 2 2s, 2 6, like
2 6s is a more success.
it's like an extreme success.
Exactly. I don't know about the
It's a super success.
I don't. It
2
didn't-
1s is extreme failure. That
It
much I
didn't-
do remember.
You remember that?
Yeah,
didn't
I remember that part.
Yeah.
Like a 1 and a 3 is a mixed failure because it's a 3. A 1 and a 2 is a failure.
But I thought she was just saying that it was.
No, I'm just saying the numbers in general, even if it's just a single number, right? So if you roll a 1 and a 2, you take the 2. If you roll a 3 and a 4, you take the 4.
I
If you
remember.
roll a 2 and a 2, obviously you take the 2. If you roll a 4 and a 5, you take the 5. So that's why a 6 is a
What if you roll a
success.
1 and a 6? You still take a 6?
Yes. You always take the highest die roll.
I got a 6.
Okay. So as you begin to kind of search the bed, you physically begin to like look through the sheets and the blankets, and you're kind of looking at the different areas of the bed. These bed sheets do not look to have been changed for a long time. They seem very stained and darkened, almost as if this bed never really was actually used.
Because she speak previously said she had died during breakfast. I want to check the
She died during breakfast. They brought breakfast up and she
She
was
was
already
already
dead.
dead. Oh, okay. I thought she already ate the breakfast.
Over on an end
Oh, she's
table
poisoned.
is a tray of food.
I actually
Dinner?
didn't check that. But
Okay.
because I was like, I was gonna check that originally because I rolled a 3 to 4, and I thought like,
I'm still learning what these skills can and can't do. I feel like that is a sense. So you give me a sense check.
that's what, yeah. Because
She had rolled it for it already.
Yeah.
Oh, for?
yeah, you skipped over me when
Sorry.
you were doing their stuff.
As you head over to check the tray of food, it is cinnamon sugar pancakes with congealed kind of butter that never really looked like it ever melted. It's almost as if the breakfast was delivered late.
That, this breakfast is weird.
No, that looks overused. Like it was never changed.
Yeah,
This is not for drink.
Or she just rarely slept.
but if it was overused, then how did she rarely sleep?
Have you guys ever looked at butter before? Because butter's kind of weird. It's not even melting.
It depends on if it's actual butter.
Can I look at the butter as well?
It just looks like it just never melted. Once again, as
Breakfast looks
Um,
weird.
Gigi
Magic
describes
butter?
it to you, it feels like the breakfast was delivered late.
This is not good. I don't think this is good. Breakfast should not look like this. I'm sorry about for her. This doesn't look good.
When did they say that the maid brought her breakfast?
Rockmeyer said it was done this morning. He didn't give a specific time.
How old does that breakfast look?
You can give me a sense.
No, I want someone else to look at it. How old does that breakfast look?
I was gonna say,
Oh, by the way, you can use your drive to help other people make rolls.
I remember
forgot
that.
about that.
that's
That's
the sense that I.
but only
I
one.
was gonna say with a 4 would I know how it is?
If you're being a servant,
Hard
you
to
would
tell for
know
sure.
these.
She serves me plenty.
Indeed. As in any true good
Your
lady
sense is
maid
far better than my
knows.
sense.
That makes sense.
Your sense is probably better than computer.
So if I have a filled in one with 2 markings on it, I do 3 dice.
You do
Two
Two
dice,
dice.
and one.
and one of those 2 dice can be gilded.
It should be gilded.
It should be gilded. It's the gilded action.
And if you
And
can use
you can add a
spend,
dice if you were to.
spend your drive.
If you want to spend any drive.
Yeah, spend your drive.
So do I
But you
have
don't
to
have to.
go ahead 3 dice?
But
you have 6.
That's it.
in order to get a recovery from a gilded dice, you have to spend the
Yeah.
drive.
Intuition is your best area.
I wish to go speak with the lady's maid.
Rockmeyer's not there.
Oh.
He already left.
Well, I need someone to lead me the way.
He said she was down in the kitchen basement.
I can search. I'm good at searching.
I would know
The
where a
lady
basement
never
would be
does
since
these
that's
things
certain.
on her own.
There.
Someone needs
Okay.
to attend me.
I have another one.
I get it. Please examine this
brought
thing
your
and
own
give me your finding. We're going to go find the lady.
No, apparently I'm examining breakfast again.
Okay.
Right.
And what are you like looking for? Describe for me what you're trying to.
How late? How? Because it's like serving so many breakfast. I want to know how like late is this?
Yeah.
4 and 1.
No, but it's on the gilded one, so it's a success.
Next success.
Do you get it back on the next success?
I'm okay with she. With
Oh wait. Whatever.
No, you can,
you
you
take-
can take the lower, if your gilded dice is lower, you can still take that to
And you-
recover a.
Drive. Yeah.
Right, but it'd be a
I'm
failure
No.
because her gilded rolls a 1.
Or her.
No,
This
no, her
isn't. This
gilded
isn't.
was
Gilded is
actually the
4.
higher.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Then in that case,
But
you're right.
like, say you rolled a 4 and a 5, but the 4 was the gilded dice, you can take the 4 and recover your,
But it may not be
Right.
as successful
Yeah.
as us taking the 5.
but you get your drive.
Correct. Yep.
Good work.
So on your
Good
gilded
work.
dice, what did you roll?
Cool.
A 4. So that's a mixed success, and I'll say you get your drive point back.
Okay. That she
And-
didn't use.
Yeah. You didn't use. I thought she used the drive.
Uh,
Oh, she didn't. Oh, okay, then you don't get drive point back. But on that mixed success, you do, in your strange kind of quirky way, you know food well enough because you kind of live the servant's lifestyle. This food was prepared yesterday. This is not prepared from this morning.
What?
I think we need to go
The
find
hump slowly starts to
particular 7.
from
But
the inside
so
now.
Things are not quite right.
Every
Did it
time,
move-
like if I do it,
Did it move in front of your neck? or behind your neck?
at one point it might. We never know. It just depends on what direction you're looking at me. That hump moves.
Igor or Eagle?
My father
It's
was
pronounced
Igor.
Igor.
I even said it too.
The
I said,
famous member of the Igor family. So what do you guys do?
We are
Okay,
going
so-
to talk to them 8-7.
So you two are heading downstairs to talk to the.
should I
Three
leave them
of
down
us.
there? Since I'm just like, you guys even know where the basement is?
So the 3 of you are heading downstairs, leaving the 2 of you up in the bed chamber. Okay, what are you looking for?
I'm searching her body.
Okay, give me another. Can you give me survey or focus on that? Okay.
6.
6. Roll some 6s, man.
They're my groups dice. Of course they're right. Really high.
As you hear the 3 of them head out the door and you hear them going down the hallway, while she's searching the body, Nero, what are you doing? The only other thing that Brockmeyer pointed out that seemed strange was the ripped paint. Otherwise, everything in here looks to be completely like it hasn't been cleaned in a long time, hasn't been, used in a long time. So far, that much is becoming more clear.
I think I want to examine the painting more closely.
Focus or survey?
Okay.
Okay.
And I will spend the drive point.
Okay. Is it a gilded action?
No.
Okay, go for it.
Also, if you want to help get your dice to help somebody, you have to.
And they one that flew out, so 6 and 4.
Okay.
That's a nice success.
As the 3 of you head downstairs, you're back in the. Come out onto the landing. Follow the carpeted stairwell down into the kitchen. As you make your way into the kitchen, you look around, and space seems very tight, very clean.
It's too clean.
Yeah, like it comparative to the rest of what you've seen so far, the kitchen's immaculate. You find the kitchen door that takes you down a set of stairs. And as you head down the set of stairs, there is a individual in like a tweed suit, kind of like a leather mask wrapped around the lower part of his face. You can see a candle-like tattoo that is on the right side of his face. His hands are in front of him. You can see an obvious pistol tucked into his belt. He sees the three of you, and I'm assuming you don't speak the witness. That's a rock on us. You might. Please, she's right here.
Who are
Opens the
you?
door. He said, "Yeah, that's Buckmeyer.
Your name.
My name's not Buckmeyer." So that's the master Buckmeyer.
How long have you been in this?
Long enough to know if I'm on this side of the door, best be not you on your side. And he opens up the door and just stands there.
I'll just hold it open to the guy.
You guys go in. As you three of you walk in, door shuts. Sitting in an oversized stuffed chair, the room is filled with crates of dried goods, canned goods, everything you need to properly fit out of water.
Jerky.
Yeah, a very kind of like well-to-do kitchen,
Yeah. Not
well-to-do
something we
house.
don't have to be sniffing in here.
A middle-aged lady. She has bright, like blue eyes, black curly hair. She's wearing kind of like house staff attire. She's got her hands in her lap and she's clenching her hands. And she's muttering to herself, "What I saw? Know what I saw? Know what I saw? I know what I saw. Oh! Well,
I see. You know what you saw?
what? What are you?"
Yeah.
She looks over at Gibby.
She's mid
Um, one of her
Hey,
eyes
no, my-
kind of flares wider than the other one as she looks.
Young lady.
Magic
Magic is
I do
optical
realize
illusion.
this is overwhelming. Lots.
Know what I saw?
At the
And you're not going to convince me otherwise.
I don't know.
She's obviously a demon.
Of course. Please tell us about the demon so we can put it on the novel.
I'm gonna just like kind of
First,
like see if I can
I'm
pull
going
her
to
down.
use,
But like
I'm
take a
going to
seat.
use one of my drives to
Did
read.
she say? I thought she was. She's like she's standing.
She's sitting on an overstuffed chair, wringing her hands on her lap, and muttering to herself.
They're called now.
I wish to read her. I wish for you to be calm. Explain your day from the beginning to where you found your mistress.
You made me sweat.
That's a disadvantage, man. That's a disadvantage.
Just one dice, or
That's
if they
the
don't
other-
have any?
You have to roll 2 dice
The
lower
lower
numbers
number.
unless you drive. So you get
2, the failure. She looks at you, panics. She looks down at her hands again. No? No.
I'm going to get down on my knees, look her in the face, and like, this is important. I believe anything you say. You tell me exactly as it happens, and I will believe you.
Give me a sweat.
I actually have sway points,
Okay, go for it.
but they're not good. 1 and a 3.
Barely a mixed success.
3 is not a success.
4 and 5 is a mixed success. That's right. Not a horrible failure, though. She seems terrified between her interaction with Lady Mechanica and now her interaction with you. She seems genuinely terrified. Back upstairs as you examine the bed or her body. As you're examining her form, you touch her, just brush aside her body, and where you touch her, it turns to dust. Just
Would I know how long it takes for a body to do that?
you would at least have common sense to know that she seems to be experiencing a very rapid form of decomposition, almost unnatural. And as you brush against her body, there's a moment where you're watching Nero examine the painting that you thought you heard a whisper. Nero, as you're at the painting, somebody's taken a knife through it. And you can see a wooden panel's buckled open, and there's a small empty space behind the wooden panel.
See?
More like a false panel, just like a hidden. Doesn't look like it was locked by any stretch. Just was something hidden behind the painting. The panel was forced open. Very small. Yeah, very small.
There's not going to be much for left.
How many other paintings can we do?
There are at least 9 other paintings.
I'd like to examine the other paintings, looking to see if there's maybe a similar panel or something behind them.
Give me a survey. That should give me feedback.
When I'm looking at her body, are there any indications on wounds or anything that would cause a death?
That feels like a focus. Focus.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
You only had 1 dice in that? 1? You hear, as you're around her physical form and you're focused on her, you hear more whispers. Like it's an echoey whisper in your mind.
I didn't have
Is there a
that.
speaker in there for them?
You rolled double 1s?
Yeah, but it's not, it's decided to take the lower.
Yeah. You find no other hidden panels or any sense that these paintings. No, you don't. Yeah, you don't really find anything. But as you look over to see Alexandra looking around with a strange look on her face, you suddenly hear something in your mind as well, like a whisper.
I'm looking for speakers.
I need the 2 of you take a mind.
What?
Oh,
Mind.
Mark.
A mind.
It's a
Brain.
Brain. Sorry, brain.
Brain damage.
And you're both getting this
I'm going
strange, eerie feeling in here now.
Okay.
I'm going to try and command the voice that I hear to speak to me clearly.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and use one of my drives as well.
Okay. Well, let's see. All right. Are you using nerve?
I'm using cunning.
Cutting? Okay.
Sway is a man.
Yeah, you can try to give me a sway
That's
on
kind
that
of
one.
what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I'm using,
Command the spirits to obey.
so I get to roll 3 dice.
Okay.
Because I start with 2, and one of them's gilded, and I added 1. Right?
Yes.
So what are you screaming? Like,
Well,
into
no,
the light
one
I
of
compel
them's-
you.
If you're doing a gilded action,
No, well,
one of them's replaced
Yes.
by the gilded dice.
But I added a dice with
Because the drive,
so
correct,
I got,
yep.
I got 3 dice and 1 gilded.
Yep.
I will take my gilded dice.
Which is a 6.
Oh.
Gilded success.
Get that back.
Get that drive back.
Nice.
Does he
The-
get his brain bleed back?
No.
The 2 of you watch as the last of her form falls to dust, and
I
this
didn't do it.
yellow disembodied spirit
Can I pull out a brief computer file and suck her into it?
You haven't been given any equipment yet.
Oh, it said during each assignment, choose up to 3. So I
Yeah,
think
technically, this is not really an assignment yet. This is the establishment of your circle.
That's why it's like I wanted a
Yeah.
detector earlier, but it's like, wait,
No, you
I
guys
haven't really
learned any
done
equipment
anything.
yet. Yeah, unfortunately.
He left and he didn't give us any equipment. What's wrong with him?
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
Am I?
Hold on. Was that why or where? Or what?
Why am I?
What?
Every now and then it tries to pull away from the ashes in the bed. And like,
What was her name? Lillian?
Lady
Lillian.
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 Okay, say Lillian? Is that what
The apparition is staring at you intently when you utter her name.
that's Lillian?
At least for us.
Man, I wish I was up there doing scientific things.
Lillian, how do we help you?
They took it from me.
Who took it? What did they look like?
I did not know them. Saw.
Were they old? Were they young?
Getting upset. You're asking the questions.
Dude, you're the face. You should be asking.
You can
these
give her
questions.
help by spending a drive,
Or
and that way it's a
can-
regular roll.
Can she give him help?
I will, spend it to help.
Can her what she just asked give him help because he looks
Does
pretty.
that mean that I roll 1?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
4.
4. 4 and 5 is mixed success, right?
Yes.
They were young. Newcomers, I think. New arrivals. I think they were related to my maid who serves me my meals. A few niece, I think.
Thank you. I think that's it. So, fine for next week.
I need you to both make control rolls.
I don't have that either.
What's the control? Oh, okay. Actually.
Oh, but I can spend a drive, and that gives me 1 dice.
Correct.
And I'm gonna spend a drive. That way I don't have to take one.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend a drive.
Okay. Go for it.
Ooh, but that's a 5.
Nice.
Six.
6. Nice. You feel her consciousness attempt to. This is the first time that both of you realize that the bleed is kind of here. Whatever's keeping her anchored here, bleed kind of interacts with you briefly. When it interacts with you, you get this sense of deja vu, and suddenly you're standing in the bedroom. She's not in the bed. There are 2 people in the bedroom having a conversation. They do not. They seem to be talking. I'm telling you, it's behind that paper. And the girl goes, if our dad finds out, she's going to get in so much trouble. I'm telling you, there's a lot of money behind it. I was up here right there, and I saw him put it behind it. I know it's there. It's a daft old woman. It's no big deal. They're not going to notice. Besides, whenever she comes in here, she gets into that weird trance-like state. Just knock her out. And then we'll just do what we need to do. Fine. Do you think it's the right thing for me? And you're like, hold. For you, just as you watch her apparition dissipate after getting that bit of information, the smell of breakfast prepared a day before, bedroom when you begin to look at the floor, and then you cast your eyes up at the ceiling. It's a seance. Ooh, this is when you sleep. It's a fortune teller. So you realize the 10 paintings, and your eyes go wide. I'm pretty sure what they stole from behind the paintings was the wall. Back down in the basement. You know what I saw? You know what I saw? She didn't always look like that. She was desiccated. And she been dead for years. Did you go up there? Did you see it? Did you see it?
We did see this. She was quite decomposing. And also, the painting was quite scarred.
Right now, you two have advantage while questioning her as you watch Giggity come over with a pitcher of water and a glass. And she, thank you, starts drinking it. Hi.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
Yeah.
In the nose, out the mouth.
No, I brought her breakfast up. She doesn't normally sleep in that room, so I was surprised to see her in the bed. I don't know why she was there. I walked over. Normally I take her food and study where I normally go. But when I saw her there, I sat down and panicked. I ran out. That's when Bachmeyer found me down here in the kitchen. I was weepy. I never experienced anything like that. It didn't look anything like her. I panicked. I didn't know what to do.
Why did you not say that the food was brought up the day before?
I don't understand how that could be. I made that food this morning. I'm sure I made that food this morning.
Can I tell she's looks like she might have missing time, like she's being truthful or
you give me a
Focus?
read on that one.
And I'll do that same.
I only got one die on that one. That's what I got. That's a one.
A 1.
Uh-uh.
So, the read, if it has the 2 circles on it,
You get 2 die.
So I want to actually, like, because, like, if we're going to call for it.
Yeah, yeah.
I did, no, there's no time in it. Or-
What'd you roll?
6 and a 3 for read.
You have two. You have 2 circles as well. Okay.
They have the.
A 5. Okay, so 6, 5, and a 1.
I got a 62. I deal in things, not people.
I deal with the people.
Yeah.
She deals with the things.
Well, actually, technically, I have more sway. I just can't read the people, I guess.
I would say you two get the feeling that she's not missing time, but something in that room caused the food to go stale. And that's what made you think. Because you rolled a 1, I need you to make a control, please.
I got one of these. Oh, it's just one of these. It is this, but there's only one die. I'm gonna spend one of my drive. I don't
Okay.
have much drive in there, but
Okay.
that way I have 2 guys to work with. And if I get it back, that'd be great.
Okay.
Oh, it's a 6 and a 4, but I'll take the drive point to get it back.
And you're gilded?
Yeah.
Taking the 4 in the gilded?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is barely a mixed success.
Yeah, it's a 6 and a 4,
Yeah.
but I took the lower, so I can get my guild back.
No, so I'm okay with that. You have a momentary sense of panic. It's quite possible that something unnatural is going on in that room. And there's a moment where there's wouldn't be enough for success to know that, but your control keeps you from panicking. So I need you to take a mind.
What? But I didn't.
You're panicking. There's something about that room that has you a little bit panicked. Control wasn't something of your choice. It was something that was an effect of your failure of being unable to read the situation. The two of you begin to realize there's definitely something about that space that caused that food to go stale. She seems genuine in her feelings, but you also pick up on it. She is terrified. Both of you notice a sense of panic emanating from Lady Elizabeth.
I think we need to get us out of there. There is something up there that is going is not good. It is making the things age, and it might be attacking our comrades. We might need to get them out of there.
You hear 2 gunshot wounds outside the door, or shots outside the door.
Shit! We need to get out of there.
Go to try the door. It's locked. You can see blood beginning to spill underneath the crack of the door.
I believe our attendant has just been murdered.
Just stick my finger.
Upstairs, the 2 of you in the room, realizing what you're experiencing, you hear muffled 2 gunshots
Sounds like
down below.
That is not time for this. I knew your fantasies.
Yes.
Oh,
Is there a lock on the door?
Doesn't look like it has a lock.
Is there a window on the door?
We're
Well, I'm
upstairs now.
running
You guys are downstairs.
I'm running down there. I'm the muscle.
Okay.
I gotta go.
You head over to the door. You fling open the door, and in the hallway, you see Brockmeyer. Like he's pressed up against the hall with a gun out, facing down the long hall. He goes, "Did you hear that? I was about to. I was getting the car ready, and I was coming upstairs to check in on. Where's the rest of
We went
Nero.
downstairs.
Nero, do you know how to use this?"
I know how to use a gun.
Yeah.
I know how to use a gun.
You guys are downstairs.
I want the gun.
Wait,
He hands
How do you
the
know-
9mm pistol to
how do you know if you know how to use it?
Control. It says shoot, finesse, and drive.
So like where'd you see that?
Control under here.
Oh yeah, under nerve, yeah, control.
Shoot, drive, shoot, and finesse.
Yeah, I'm still trying to memorize all the skill sets,
Right.
so be patient.
I keep one of these, right, Mike?
I know I need to keep one, but in
I
fact,
think
you know
there's-
what? I should do that.
Just out of real, as soon as he hands it,
Yeah, yes.
I slide out the clip and.
It's fully loaded, hasn't been shot yet.
How many rounds?
12 rounds. 1 in the chamber.
12 rounds total? or-
Yep. So 11 in the clip, 1 in the chamber.
Okay.
You slide it after checking it.
And then just the Brockmeyer has another gun.
Does not eat.
No, I'm just wondering if he's got another weapon.
Not that you can see.
Okay.
Where's the rest of your friends?
They're downstairs talking to me.
Me. Oh my god. My guard's been shot. Have you
Well,
made
he
any
shot
discoveries while you're here?
So convincing.
I think it,
I know all of the things.
Yeah.
What have you discovered so far?
there's no longer a body up there. It's turned to ash.
He looks into the room and you can see the ash pile. See. The evidence of money violence.
So we had the impression of those 2 new arrivals that were in the room and Bob.
Okay, Lillian told us that it was a young man and a
That was Sandra, the niece and nephew of May. Damn it. I am going to go this back way down to the car. Meet me out front. Find your friends. Grab the maid. Let's get out of here and we'll deal with it with the authorities for now. This could just be a robbery. Maybe they just stole something from her.
Next year.
Alright, stop at the kitchen.
Should I
There's nothing in the
tell him
blood.
what it is?
Not with
They
your,
thought it was mine.
not with that. No making dark rituals in the back in the
You should
kitchen.
go and secure your
I
friends.
turned off the door.
Meet me out front of the
I need
car.
a leaking for God's sakes.
I
don't
don't-
We're having conversations in the kitchen. I've already got gum.
Russia.
Usually I have to fall asleep to get that attention.
So as the 2 of you are up on top of the landing, you watch as Brockmeyer takes a different stairwell down out the
Be
back.
safe, monkey.
The monkey! Why do you continue to call me this monkey? You can hear him rattling keys in his hand as you hear a door. And as you guys are up on the landing, looking down. The three of you are in the basement.
God, master, some magical bubblegum. Just
In the kitchen basement, door is locked. There's blood oozing out from underneath the crack of the door.
Is it the door leading up to the main house, or is it the door that would be leading to the
The
outside?
kitchen pantry and there's only the window.
There's only the one door. You guys are in a food storage room.
Okay.
Currently locked.
Well, I'm looking around to see if there's anything I can use to pry it open.
That's a
The
survey,
sausage.
right? Yeah, give me
Find
survey.
a giant hard sausage, like a salami.
4.
Four. Looking around, you can see there is an old crowbar on the ground from when they used it to pry open the crates.
Right. I found the crowbar. Is anyone of you as strong? Because I am not.
How do you spell
It'd be
strength?
strike.
Okay. I do not have any strike points, so I'll leave this to the two people who do have at least one die in that.
Well, she's your assistant.
Assistant, take this.
Come
And
over. She lumbers over, jams it into the door lock. Go ahead and give me a strike.
No.
Just 1d6 unless you have any drive. No.
Okay, we're good luck with this. Hopefully I don't slip them with blood.
3.
3. As you jam the crowbar, it's not a very resistant lock. As you slam and break it, unfortunately, your hand runs down the serrated edge of the crowbar. As you take I believe you take a body. Slice open your hand.
Yep. And this is where my mechanical arm.
Get it. Jeez.
The lock is heavily damaged, so you can now give me a strike.
I'm dabbing it with the edge of my cloak. 3.
I'm
A
just
3. You bring up. Are you binding her wound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to.
You bring up your hand and with your palm, slam it down into the lock. But you manage to break the lock, and the weight of the dead body on the other side pushes the door inward. And as he pushes the door inward, you see one wound to the head and one to the chest. As the guard that was previously there is now on the ground bleeding out. Unfortunately, I need you to take a body because the servo, the clockwork of your arm, is now frozen as your arm is very stiff and not moving as much as you'd like it to.
I don't know if he's bleeding out. He's probably dead.
I'm telling you what they see.
You said bleeding out. You got shot in the head.
You can still bleed out.
Dead.
You were there.
Funny thing, when
Brain
you're
matter coming out.
bleeding out of your dead body. Yes.
It's just
A ricochet shot right in the door jam. I need you two to make move rolls, please.
Sorry, I'm making sound effects
Oh
over
my
here.
god, don't do that again.
Lower it. So, all double 6.
2.
2.
Yeah. 2.
2. The bullet slams into the archway of the door, shattering into dozens of shrapnel-like pieces as each of you take another bite, getting pelted with fragments of the bullet.
Looking around for anything else that can be used.
If you get 3 bodies,
You heard another gunshot from
Okay.
above on the landing.
3
Another
bodies, does
good
that
shot?
mean dead?
Okay.
If you get 3 bodies, does that mean dead?
No,
No.
you're unconscious.
And it gives you a scar. And then you have to move points around.
If you want to, yeah.
I think I have to.
You can, you can. I think it's more a DM's discretion, GM's discretion.
Okay.
So you two are up on the landing, and you just heard what sounded like a door being broken open, and then what sounded like a gunshot, and then you hear a woman's voice. Stop doing that! You're gonna get us killed! As you run down the stairs, what are you doing?
I'm following her.
Okay. And as you're running down, you can see a young woman wearing just kind of like basic work attire, just like a blousey shirt, cotton pants, boots. She looks panicked. She's staring at someone in the kitchen. You turn, and there's someone that kind of looks like her, but in male form. And he's got a gun pointed down the hallway of a different direction of the kitchen. He hasn't spotted. She turns to see you first, You're now standing next to her.
Oh no, I run past her and I'm tackling it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a strike. Actually, start with a
Move to the
Yes.
dodge.
yeah. Start with a move first.
Okay, so I have a diamond and 2 circles. So that means
You can replace
my gilded and a regular.
right, and you won't spend any drive.
I'm going to spend a drive point,
Okay.
and I'm going to.
I have a question that I wasn't able to answer
My
quickly
gilded
enough.
rolled a 5.
Nice. You get your drive back.
Just 1.
Just one, because you got a success. You watch as she goes running past the girl that goes, ah! Screams as she goes by. He turns and takes a shot.
Now
But
do
you
I
move, you dodge underneath it. Now give
Now
me
strike?
strike,
Okay,
but I'm going to give you an extra d6 on this.
I'm going to spend another drive
Okay?
because I have the same thing as my move.
So, for those of you, I know we don't have a big audience tonight, but for those of you watching, the reason why what she's doing is really important is that now you're beginning to understand that the action economy is completely in the player's control. That's a huge difference in a lot of standard dice rolling games. A lot of times it's the GM telling the player, oh, that's your action, that's all you can do. Right? So what they've done is they built a system, a lot of that control is now put back in the player's hand. The level of success and failure is always a potential, but you get to control your action economy now. Whereas I get to narrate the outcome.
It's more
Based
RP than
It's,
combat.
it's a lot more RP than true, like the true kind of idea of mechanics. There we go. So she gets
My gilded did not, but I got a 6.
a
I'm
6.
not-
So you're not, so you lose the
So
drive,
I lose.
but you got a 6. You leap into his midriff. The bullet goes right over her. I need you to give me a move because you came out following her. So give me a move.
To dodge the bullet.
Oh my God, he got 2
I got
sixes.
double 6s, but that's not mine, so it's not a success,
Ah.
but it's a mixed success.
Right. So, however,
I
what
was
you
thinking my lower.
So he can't get the double. But
yeah,
still 6
because
though.
it's at disadvantage.
Mhm.
That last moment, as the shot goes over her head and she grabs him in the midriff, you hear his breath whoosh out of his mouth. The gun goes spilling to the ground, and she tackles him. And as you tackle him, his head cracks on the hard
I wasn't
floor,
trying to kill him.
and he immediately goes unconscious. For you, because you stopped short, you also were able to reach out and grab the woman and pull her out of the way. She would have been shot otherwise. So you pull her out of the way, which means you're going to gain confidence with her. So you pull her out of the way, piece of artwork gets shattered by the bullet. You guys hear shots being fired from outside the door at
Just
this
one
point.
Alexandra?
It's
You
okay,
know?
Sandra, I got you.
Professor?
Yeah, you pull her in close,
Are
you
you
know,
guys
and
okay?
she's got this
Well,
panic look on her face.
I'm quite alright.
I'm
Unfortunately,
sitting on
I need some mechanical assistance.
Yeah, you just
Raven blade
it.
So,
And I'm
yeah.
tall. I'm huge.
you're a big woman.
I'm a big woman and I'm sitting on him.
So the three of you come up out of the basement to see. Nero has a controlled over a young woman, and Alexander's sitting on an unconscious person on the
Not
ground.
so that I'm sure.
Right, you're just keeping them just, like pinned, but not like trying to let them die.
we
I'm
are,
not suffocating.
we are going to need some assistance medically for our real friends.
So all of you are gathered in the kitchen at this point after all
Bring me
this has
rope?
transpired.
Do I look like a carry rope?
Yes.
Eventually, you hear a door open. Where are you? And then-
Monkey,
Montgomery.
we're in the
He looks to
kitchen.
see. Oh my! Is everybody?
He tried to shoot me.
Oh.
Use the
Nearly
capsules
successful
on
on
the
this
curtains.
I said nearly successful on these two.
If I
Oh.
use my belt, my pins will fall.
I know, but
Use
you
the
don't have a
tassel
rope.
only through your belt.
Where's the
But my
arm?
arm's bleeding.
She was in the pantry.
Yeah,
with us.
that's
You guys left it behind in the pantry, yeah? Or in the food storage basement area.
I wear a robe, but I have a robe around.
Yeah.
Like untie that and I'm like, what?
Is that your?
Where's the maid?
She's down in the basement still. In the food storage.
That's the window right here.
Well, no, you're in the kitchen. There's a door with a hallway and stairs going down into the food storage basement.
Is there an exit out that way? Go make sure she's not running away.
She
I'll go
came up.
check
There's
our
only
toy
one
room.
door in and out. That's why we came up.
Is there?
This towards the bullets.
From what they remember seeing.
I'll go head back in.
Okay, you go back in there. You see her cowering behind the chair. What's going on? What's
Yeah.
Male and a female.
Yeah, really big mess back there. People don't want to come out yet, but how you doing?
just stand there?
Gidget, is she all right?
Yep, she's fine. She's good. Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's currently tying his hands. And he's starting to come to. Got a nice lump and a little bit of blood trickling down the back. So
I need you to take a deep breath because you're probably not going to like this.
I want to move to secure the gun that fell to the ground and give it to.
Exactly what I'm going to do there.
You. Oh, I don't want that.
Did we recognize the
she's more of a physical person than
All
a
right, then
person at range.
I will
Add it to your arsenal.
stick it in a pocket until I can figure out what they
But I have my pistol. You can keep the other one. That's fine. Maybe go and retrieve the pistol of God. I'm assuming my God is dead.
And
Down the hallway?
unfortunately, he didn't even give us his name. I can't even give him proper respects.
What is going on here?
And he didn't give us his name either.
Does this look like the people that I saw talking in
Yeah.
the kitchen?
Yeah, looks like the niece and nephew.
Well, Denise and the nephew were shooting
Denise.
at us.
Well, no,
Denise and
the-
Denise.
Denise and the nephew. Yeah, sorry, Denise was not shooting at us, but the nephew was shooting at us.
Sandra, at least one of you remember her name.
I wrote the name. I'm still calling them Denise and the
She's
nephew.
being
I'm also
intentionally
calling him
obtuse.
almost have a few
I did not suffocate.
things. Opposed.
Eventually, you lead the maid out of into
Like,
the kitchen.
I was like patting.
Yeah.
I like take a deep breath. You're not gonna like what you see, but just take a deep breath. I'm like,
She, like, you help her step over the dead body in the hallway and bring her out into the kitchen. And
I can always like shield to her. Like, don't look this way. No, it's good. No, just take one step over.
not good.
Good luck, chick.
What is the meaning of this? Why are your niece and nephew involved?
I'm up with her shoulders, like, don't know.
She seems genuinely confused. Get off of me! You can hear
I sit on him more.
you sit more
I feel
heavily
like
on
you're
him.
like just going like this and
All we did was steal a stupid glass ball.
Well, that was your own damn fault.
Stealing
No
is
money.
wrong.
wait. No. There is a necklace that is missing.
What necklace?
The one in all the paintings.
Gives a fuck about old painting. I don't know of any necklace. Maybe sway with an extra d6 because currently.
I'm gonna start searching it.
Okay.
I can see 3.
But she's currently pinned by, or he's
That's
pinned.
2 6s.
Okay.
I'm gonna start searching.
Okay. Go for it.
That's 6.
You find a cloth bag with a small crystal ball inside of it. As she does that, she tweaks his arm and nearly breaks it backwards up over his shoulder. All right. Right.
My bad.
She was in the middle of a trance. She had nothing to do with it. She didn't know I did it.
Insight.
Okay.
I reached up and I took it from her neck. I didn't think she'd notice. She was doing something weird. I don't know. But when I grabbed the necklace, that's when all of you look at the hand that he wasn't shooting with. 3 of the fingers are rotted down to the last knuckle, and there's blackened, like a necrosis, all the
There's
way
cream.
up to his elbow.
Be careful. I will not.
Buddy, you might need a cream for that.
What
Who
happened
put you
with the
up to this,
necklace?
Thomas?
I dropped it in the room and I ran. We both ran after what we
Montgomery,
saw.
you said you did not see the necklace anywhere when you were searching.
Who are you asking that?
Montgomery.
I'm gonna
No,
look at the
remember,
maid.
see the necklace up. That's why I called all of you.
I'm gonna look at the maid. Standing right there. Great. Did you see the necklace?
You watch as her eyes kind of flare a bit. You notice that both of her hands are blackened. And she just gets this maniacal grin on her face. And she starts walking.
She was holding, we're still holding.
Oh,
I was on
towards
my
me.
shoulders.
Give me a control to take control of her.
And as this is going on, I'm going to read.
I'm going to give her one of my drive. I don't have a lot, but I'm going to give her one so she has 2 dice to roll.
Okay.
I'm going to say to Gidget, control her. 4.
4. You're holding on to her, but she's actually dragging you with her, almost as if you don't exist. Her arms are coming up and reaching towards Elizabeth.
How close am I?
You just searched the bot, so you're about 20 feet away.
I'm gonna try and tackle it.
Did you get up to go after her?
Yeah,
So I like confused, like I'm 6'2". How is this tiny woman doing this?
Careful not to touch the black.
She's coming for you directly. You said you want to try to read the situation. Actually, be more of an intuition. So give me sense.
Okay, I actually have advantage. Yeah. Oh, can I help?
Hold on.
5.
5.
In
Okay.
my.
Okay. She's definitely under some kind of influence because when you saw her down below, she didn't look like this. The rot of her hands,
Is it spreading?
it's spreading up towards her elbows, but there's a sense of possession about her at this point.
So that would be revealed.
Yeah. You get the sense that she's possessed by something, and she seems to want to go after Elizabeth for some reason. You're attempting to hold her. You notice this. You're going to try to go tackle her. What are you doing?
I am trying to get the maid's attention. Is this what you're looking for? Trying to distract her.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend a
You doing
live
sway?
point.
You doing sway?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, the hide was kind of the distract feature of hide. So I'm trying to get
All right.
it like
Yeah.
a distraction.
Okay. Go for it.
And then Holder, can I try to actually use sense for the attuning? Like what's trying to for this since I'm actually like grappling or trying?
Since you were a mixed success, I'm actually going to have you and Elizabeth make a roll here in a minute. What'd you get?
A 5.
A 5. Okay. The pause causes her to stop and look over at the bauble that you're holding. That gets her attention. 2 of you do not need to make control rolls because now the creature is fixated on you. And as she looks towards you, you can now give me, since you're close enough, just give me a strike as you go to tackle her.
The crystal ball. Still the crystal ball, you said?
Yeah, because he's got it.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you have it. What are you distracting with?
I'm just calling out to make her change direction.
Okay, in that case, you got her distracted towards you, and she's coming towards you because you've distracted her. Okay, I like that.
So it's using a drive point.
Okay. You have to mark those off. Okay.
My drive point is done. So, but I went roll 6.
You wrote 6. Okay. You bring your shoulder, as you're holding her, you bring your shoulder down into her rib cage. You hear the entire rib cage fracture and crack.
I was just trying to take her feet out from underneath.
Yeah, you hear her fracture her ribs, her hip kind of like dislocates, and then you tumble to the ground, unable to trip her. Her body is now disfigured, and it's still moving towards Nero. I need you to give me a control really quick.
Can I take a look for the amulet? I'm thinking it's probably somewhere on her body. Can I guess where it might be?
Hold on. I need a move from you. I had built a cheat sheet for myself, and I forgot those.
Why couldn't it be strike instead?
Sorry, it's got to be a move.
Oh no!
Yeah, no, I have 2.
2. You feel the back of her hand slash up across you,
Oh no.
and you feel like this sense of, like, almost like this sense of poison kind of covering your
poor hand
form.
that's already fucked up.
Yeah,
Just like
it just slides up it, but then there's like a effervescence that comes with it. I'm gonna need you to take a breathe.
It's not
And
body.
you're no longer holding her.
I'm just gonna be looking at you like,
And
Master, this is your
now
fault.
she's dragging herself back towards Nero again. You're on the ground closest to her, but you're unable to tackle her, but you did damage to her. You disfigured her.
Is there any way I can tell whether I mean, it might be perhaps a pocket in a apron or in a
Sense?
sense?
Yeah.
Touching the necklace makes people's hands turn necrotic.
I was. Yeah, but if I can find out where it is, we can use a napkin or something.
Just
Save the world
strip
with a
her
napkin.
naked. Just strip her naked. Just rip her clothes.
Okay. I was kind of hoping for focus, but if it's sense, I'm going to use.
Then we don't have to touch it if it's in her pocket.
I'm going to use one of my intuition.
So one of the things I like the way they broke these down. Survey takes a lot of time, right? Focus takes a lot of time. Sense is the equivalent of passive perception.
Okay.
So as this is fast moving around you, your sense is you're trying to see if you could reveal on her form where it might be.
Okay.
I'm going to assist her with that and use a point.
Oh, cool.
So
That
you
means
get an extra die.
I'm using a die. I'm using a drive. She's using a drive. I can take 3.
Correct? Give me advantage, or not advantage. Just give me your assistance.
Oh my gosh, they're 3 2s.
You know, we can use resistance to reroll a number.
Yes, you can reroll a die.
Equal to your action rate.
So do I get to roll all 3?
Yeah, you'll use all 3. I think you can only use 1 resistance at a time, though.
It says spend a resistance to reroll a number of dice equal to your action rating.
Is that actually like the dark circle?
I think that's
Yes.
the dark circle.
Yeah, it's the action. So, if how many do you
Dark
have
circles.
Without
for what
drive.
you just rolled?
I have 2
I think it's
left.
without drive.
No, not with drive. So, I had you roll survey.
Yes,
How many dice would you normally roll without any drive?
I won.
1. So you can re-roll 1 dice.
Oh.
That's your action.
Oh,
And I'm using my sense. So I have advantage in that.
That one's
but
a 5.
It's just for her though, because she rolled a dice.
Is the resistance this one?
Correct.
You can use it 3
Now
times.
you mark off one
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
resistances.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
Cool.
you have
Okay,
like one
thank you.
for.
Thank you, because that was 3 2s.
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
So there was a moment there where her jaw distended, like she was turning towards you, and there was this strange kind of like power beginning to exude from her. But at the last minute, she distracted her,
Mhm.
and your resistance to the kind of chaotic nature of things like this gave you an opportunity to kind of break that glance with her, and you moved out of the way. So right now, the kitchen is chaos.
I was trying to find the necklace. That's why I was rolling.
Yeah, that 5, as you peel away to kind of look away from her gaze, you could see that she's wearing a maid's apron, and there's something in the pocket.
Remove the apron if you can. Cut it away.
Focus.
That's what I'm gonna do.
So you're close
I'm
by.
at her
You're
feet.
close by.
Should I do it? Roll for focus?
Um,
Because the fact that I'm analyzing and then trying to.
I'll say that all of you here say that it's in the maid's apron. So I would
I'm
say,
gonna try and rip the apron off.
yeah, it's going to be a strike if you want to try to rip the apron off.
I'm gonna try and rip the apron
Okay. You're free to try too if you want it. Be a strike.
off. I use,
Or you could help her
Help, yeah.
and spend
She
the
doesn't
drive.
have
and
she doesn't
get,
have no. She has no
yeah.
nerve.
I
I'm
can
gonna spend the drive.
Okay.
myself. I have-
Well, you have a strike though.
No, she has no nerve. This is
You have a strike.
I have a strike.
yeah. When you're helping other people, use your drive.
Yes.
I need to strike.
You can only use your drive when you help other people.
Right, right. No, I-
So if
Come
I'm
on, get a 6 on my gilded dice so I can drive.
3. As you reach out to grab the apron and rip it off
Wait,
her
wait.
form,
I want to do a resistance.
you can do a resistance.
done a
Yeah,
resistance
yeah,
yet.
go for it.
And so I
Well,
roll 2.
You re-roll 2 dice.
Do I
Yes.
re-roll a gilded one? Does it count?
I
or does it-
don't think resistances give you a re-roll of gilded.
Okay.
That's will
I
be a
got a
roll
6.
check. Nice. So as you reach for the maid's apron, reaching in, you watch as her sickly claws about to strike across your arm. But the last minute, you dig deep and rip it off of her form. And as you do, all of you hear the clatter of a piece of jewelry go tipping out of the pocket and onto the ground and skittering on the kitchen ground. You watch as the creature's head does a 180 and locks and then crabs backwards and starts scurrying towards the charm, towards the necklace. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna jump for it. I'm gonna jump for the jewel.
Can I catch?
You're jumping on the charm?
Yeah.
Give me a move.
Can I throw that crowbar
With
to the person with body?
With cloth. Don't pick it up with your hands.
It wasn't in the apron.
No, it came tumbling out of the apron.
Do I have the apron?
You have the apron.
So it's not on her anymore.
No.
Can I chuck it at her?
Sure. You throw it over to her.
No, I'm like,
You grab it and you go to try to beat her too. So the two of you are going towards it. So I need you to give me a move.
Alexandria, catch! Throw the crowbar at you.
You have the crowbar now.
So
You've got it's a 6-chambered pistol that you have that the other guy had. There's 2 rounds up there.
Right, but I'm going to
The
yell
only
at
one
the
that we have
creature
access to.
to stop. So
Yeah, that's
basically-
right. I wanted
Stop,
to make
stop,
explosives.
please.
Okay. Give me
I'm
a
gonna use
hide.
high drive.
Okay.
So that
6,
would be
nice.
a sway, right?
Didn't you use hide last time for distract?
No, that was distract. I'm trying to command it to stop.
Okay, so sway. Go for it.
Use that space.
A 5.
5. Okay. Who else was rolling? Anybody? No, we're good. So with that, you are matched with this crab walking reverse creature going right by you. The two of you are chasing towards it, but you hear Nero yell at it, and it kind of looks back towards Nero, giving you just enough time to get the apron on top of the charm.
Crowbar.
You're gonna strike at it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Can you strike? What'd you get? 2s. As you bring the crowbar down, the creature moves back away from you. Give me a move, please.
Does somebody have a gun? Shoot it!
No. A 4.
A 4. You move out of the way just as the creature goes to backhand you after you miss with the crowbar. Get out of the way. The creature slices up at the air, but unfortunately, it just manages to nick you with its fingernails. And you take a bite.
Because I had a 6 and a 5, and then if you don't have those faces, you take the lower number, right?
Correct.
Okay, so,
So 5 is still a mixed success. So you
Thomas
go-
had a gun.
Huh?
Thomas had a gun, right?
Yeah.
He was shooting.
Yeah, he took it.
No, I haven't.
That's that you had the one that.
No, he gave that back.
He
You
gave
brought
it
it
I
back.
asked for it back.
Gave it back to someone.
And it's at that point, as you yell, someone shoot it, Brockmeyer is on the other side of the kitchen, and he takes it. He like shoots at it 4 times. You watch as each round hits the creature, and it's unaffected by it.
Next
Creature's
round,
out.
I'm smacking it.
And then smack it with the crowbar. Strike it.
Did you not use the silver bullets?
2 5.
2 5. So
What kind of
5.
business
One
are
is
we
my
in?
gilded. One
You-
is my gilded. So
Oh,
that
nice.
means
Get 1 draft back. You bring the crowbar down on its head, and the back of its head splits open. Then you watch as what was once its brain kind of start to hang out of its head. Yeah. And it collapses to the ground.
It's unfortunate. Because I don't know if we could have saved her.
Don't touch that with your skin.
Yeah, no, I figured I'm not just keeping the apron. No.
Everybody okay?
No.
Oh, I'm quite well.
My head hurts.
Hey. Everybody stay where you are. As you watch as Brockmeyer goes, and you hear like a ringing sound. Yes. Ebony, 4526.
I'm
Quickly.
sitting back on
Yeah, and you're keeping him pinned.
I'm going to start lecturing them like a school teacher. Like, I hope you are all proud because of your greed, you'll have lost your ancestors.
We'll use a band-aid right now.
I mean, much.
I mean, And there's
I need
towels.
to fix this.
Go get a kitchen towel.
So, with that in mind, a strange group of individuals wearing robes and carrying a very strange metal case come up to you. They have full masks on, so you can't see them.
No?
Uh,
This kind of
uh, no, not quite. Gigi, please place the apron in the case.
Good job.
No, 6 with 2 additional guards. Another guard is taking the body of the other guard out. There's a cleaning crew already starting on kind of cleaning everything up. You watch as the niece and nephew are taken away.
Well, that's before you take them away, I wanted to walk over to Thomas and check his pockets.
Okay. Give me. That would be.
You found 4 cases
survey.
of bullets? What?
The one that I had no ability
Those
over.
in the
You know what?
pocket.
I'm gonna go ahead and, so
Is
if
it
I
crystal
use
ball
a
magic?
drive, then it
Overcheck?
becomes one
My
die.
hand's already dying.
Correct.
I might as well check.
I will go ahead and use
Okay.
Oh,
two
it was
drive.
in a bowl.
I can
I
choose
can
to do
make
that.
more than one at a time, right?
I can try to
Roll
do
2 dice.
Let's pick this up. I will try.
This is
It
her
was keep
stop.
It was a 4 and a 5. You had a 4 and a 5.
So,
Just go with that.
so violent.
You find 3 additional rounds in one of his pockets.
So violent.
Right?
But
They want crystal ball.
no, that belongs to you. I have no notion of Mistress Lillian using it. I
You didn't know about the room? Yes.
did not. We had no idea she was a seer.
Something that the maid said, unfortunately, while she was still to her mind at the fault. That
Yes.
she mentioned she was a demon.
Well, she
Well,
said she
to the
looked
average
like a
person, she might seem that way, depending what happened. I want to thank the family for this. And please, stay in touch. We'll have another case for you.
Maybe next time give us some Gyata weapon instead of running off.
You are a proper circle now.
And I need an
I will take that in the
attendant
notion.
to help me.
Yeah, you probably got hired that on your own.
Taking a little book
I
shell out of
have
my hand.
tools in my reticule. I'm used to this. This
Oh,
thing
so-
breaks all the time.
Let's
Mind if I help with that?
experiment with the idea of the circle and the idea of how now your characters could potentially enhance. Now, no one took any scars,
Almost.
right?
Almost.
Yeah,
I had
Yeah.
stuff from before.
Like that
Yeah,
last
that's
one, you
before
made her
that.
a bleed instead of a body.
yeah.
She was one away
Because it
from.
was a magical interaction
Yeah.
with what had happened to her. So yeah.
Bookshots in my hand.
Yeah. So, so we call these questions and keys. Did you contain or destroy a source of bleed?
Bleed.
That'd be the charm.
Yeah.
So yes, that would be a yes. Did you provide comfort or support for those affected? You
Yes.
saved the one woman from
Yeah.
being shot. So
And
that
I
would be a
sat
yes.
on the necklace.
And also, we were comforting the maid before she died.
Yep.
So comforting.
Did you bring something of importance back for Candela Obscura to study? It could either
Yes.
be the seance orb, which they don't seem to be interested in, but you recovered the charm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was in my
So that would be yes.
This might be a
You
magical
earn
ritual.
2.
And we found
So you so this is how you earn. You earn 2 illumination. It's some but not all players fulfill. Okay, so these questions are for each player.
I didn't comfort anyone.
So earn 2 illumination if some but not all players fulfilled an Oh, okay, I see. Earn 4 if every player fulfilled. So you guys as a circle earn 2 illumination points.
Did we not?
Each
Did we
or-
not all?
No, total for the circle.
Did we not all do this?
Well,
Because it says you earn 4 if every player
technically
fulfills at least
he
one
saved her from being shot.
Mhm.
So he saved her from being shot.
And-
Providing her a glass of water is not enough for illumination.
We were comforting.
That's
We were comforting.
She was having a mental breakdown. We comforted her.
And she was helping too, even though she
I think your elasticity is returned back to normal variation.
Do we get anything for finding a lead? Because technically the seance room is finished. I'm wondering if there was something along those lines there.
I mean, that's some knowledge to remember. I would say the entirety of the group helped recover a source of bleed. The entirety of the group helped get the source of the bleed to Candela Obscura for them to continue to study it. But really only, even if the three of you provided comfort, it's still not enough to get 4 elimination points.
'Cause I didn't
So the
provide
circle
any
gets 2.
Are you suggesting you didn't comfort the dead ghost lady?
comfort. Oh yeah, I did comfort the dead ghost lady.
You were interrogating
I was asking questions about finding the murderer.
That was comforting.
her. Now you guys are going too
Give me
far.
the
So-
restful piece.
I want more point of the. I want these points that don't make sense or doesn't matter.
Peaceful rest.
For the
So-
points.
At character advancement, each player can choose 2 different options. So we're going to consider this a character advancement, so you can play around.
Milestone!
So you can add 1 action point, add 2 drive points, take a new ability, or guild an additional action. So you can do 2 of those options.
Say it again.
You can add 1 action point. You can add 2 drive points.
An action point is like circles.
Correct. You can add a new ability, which means if you have an ability with no action points.
Are these here?
Correct.
Make that a dark circle.
Sorry, no, yeah, sorry, in the middle. Those abilities in the middle.
Did they have to go in order?
Yes. I prefer they go in
Are
order.
you suggesting that I can't create
Yes.
explosions? Are you trying to keep my explosions from me?
Take a new ability or guild an additional action. Which means turn one of your existing actions into gilded, or add another action point to an existing ability, or add 2 drive points to either nerve cutting or intuition. So this is a good opportunity that if you have no drive points in one of those,
That had it right.
yeah,
So, and like if you say, my character is cunning, and I have the gilded abilities in cunning. If I were to use,
I want to take special ability.
okay.
if I
You
were
get
to,
to choose up to 2 options.
You need options?
At character advancement, each player can choose 2 different options.
Right.
Oh.
So I can take my specialty.
So for instance, if I have 1 right now in sense, I could add 1 and make it a gilded.
Correct. Good.
I think I'll do that.
That'll be both your options. That's how advancement works. Once again, no leveling, none of that.
And then I'll take 2 drive points and
Okay.
wait, no. I think I want to up my nerve drive points because really that's what I'm
You guys have also earned 2 illumination points for the circle. So circle abilities. Choose 1. I think we need to get new toner for the printer because the ink is barely legible.
Here, you can
for
read
that.
mine. Mine's fine.
Oh, yours is so much better. That was not helpful
That
at all.
not. I should have turned it into an airplane.
It was like hand it to Shiloh and Shiloh didn't.
That was.
I cannot read the printouts.
Yeah,
That's
well,
better.
when you print it out, look at how much toner that page used.
Yeah.
That was the last one I printed. I printed out everything else first.
Look at how much toner that page used.
what was the circle abilities now?
Okay, so circle abilities. Choose 1 at character creation and 1 each time your circle advances. So in this case, you guys, the circle won't advance. So choose 1 as if because the circle's being created this time. So you had a character advancement, but the circle's not advancing, but it's being created. So you can now choose stamina training, nobody left behind, forged in fire, intradisciplinary, resource management, our last run. So you can, as a circle, you guys can choose 1 of those options.
You'll have to read through what they.
I always like forging fire.
Just because it sounds cool. When you help an ally, so stamina training, your circle has 3 gilded dice at the beginning of every assignment, which is kind of cool.
So we basically make whichever.
It's a gilded dice pool, that 3 at the beginning of your next assignment. Therefore, they don't refresh. They're just extra gilded dice you can use because it's part of your circle ability. Nobody left behind. When a member of your circle takes a scar and drops incapacitated, any rolls a player makes in the scene to protect them or give them, out of danger, have an extra die. Fortune Fire, when you help.
So basically, if they fall unconscious and you want to protect them, you get an extra die to help them.
Correct.
English, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, one last run. When you select this ability, the next time you fill your elimination track, your circle will retire from service. Everyone takes all 4 options during the turn.
What's the fortune fire?
Forged in Fire, when you help an ally on a roll, if they don't succeed, you both earn back 1 drive point, your choice.
If they don't
So basic-
succeed,
When you help an
Or if
ally
they
on a
do
roll,
succeed.
if they don't succeed, you both earn back 1 drive point of your choice. I mean, really, that's
I-
kind of, we fail
That
a
keeps
lot.
your drive
I like
nice
that.
and
I
buttery.
don't know, Miss. I roll how many 6s?
yeah,
I
considering
roll
I
lots.
use it like,
Just not on your gilded.
No,
I think
not
you
on
rolled
my
a 5 that one time. In your gilded.
Yeah,
So, by the way, she also brought up a really good point. If you do a guild, like as you burn your drive, let's say you run out of drive, but you want to use a gilded action, you still roll that gilded die because you may get a drive back even though you're not using it in that roll. So that gilded die still has value even if you run out of drive after the fact because you could start earning it back.
Well, the only one that I have to build it is using strike, so
Right.
that's why I was like, I'm gonna tackle her. I'm gonna punch.
And
I'm
that's,
gonna.
I mean, I was doing the same thing, but that was the distract and the command.
You also have Candela Obscura resources where you can stitch, refresh, and train. In each of these following resources fill in both sections, top and bottom, equal to the number of your circle members, +1 between +1. Sorry, didn't see there was a period after that. So, under Stitch, Refresh, and Train, there's 5 of you. So, the bottom row, you get 5 of each of those bottom row. See how it's split into 2 rows?
There's only 2 sheets of that.
Right.
So,
Well, the circle should only have 1 sheet because that's what you guys use for your circle
That's like
advancement.
that's the circle.
Correct.
So the circle sheet.
She's currently filling it out for us.
Right. And then you can use those available resources in case people take scars. So, for example, if you want to train, if you want to refresh, or you want to stitch. Refresh helps you gain drive back.
How do you get bottom points?
Yeah, because these two,
I think that's refresh is that as well, I believe.
they had to do that a lot in the
all right. So stamina
Durable
training, nobody left behind.
there was a lot of injuries.
Forged in Fire, interdisciplinary. When choosing a new ability during character advancement, once per campaign, each player may choose an ability from a character role or specialty outside of their own. So interdisciplinary.
Correct.
Resource management. When your circle hits a milestone on the elimination track, earn back 1 stitch, refresh, or train resource. So, kind of like the Forged in Fire. When you help an ally on a roll, if they don't succeed, you both earn back 1 drive.
And if your circle, right now you guys won 2 illumination points.
So does that mean we get 2?
No, if you look at the illumination thing right here,
Oh, that's on this.
Yep.
what-
so you fill in 2 blanks, and by the time you reach another solid, then you get circle advancement.
Oh, gotcha. You were
Yeah.
here. Okay. So which way does it go?
Yeah.
Clockwise or counterclockwise?
I think it doesn't really matter. It's up to you.
Well, one way.
Oh no, there's a squiggy at the top.
Yeah.
So start to the right of that, like a clockwise.
Clockwise.
Yeah. Now Stitch,
And that's 2
I
points.
believe Stitch takes care of any wounds. Mind, bleed, and body.
I like the training one.
Refresh recovers drive,
Drive, yeah.
and then train. I
Okay.
believe I'll have to read up more on train. I'm not sure what you get with that, but
I was thinking that was the refresh one. I thought those 3 were connected together. Refresh, training, and something else.
Well, these are the Candela Obscura resources for the circle. So the members of the circle can use stitch, refresh, and train. So, for example, let's say she took a scar from. She almost did take a scar, and let's say she did. She could actually use. No, sorry, scar is permanent.
Yeah.
Take that back. You took. How many body wounds did you take? 2. So you guys can use 2 of your available 5 stitch for those to go away.
Which we probably need to because these 2 got really beat up with the body. She got 2 body and a bleed. She got 2 body.
Actually,
Refresh
mine-
allows you
I
to
got a
recover
bo-
dry.
I got 2
Yeah, I
body
want- that's the
and
one
my
I want.
arm is incapacitated.
Well, you can use all 3,
I think that's
and
smart.
each
I think that's-
each resource has 5 points
Um,
because there's 5 members. No, 6. I'm sorry. There's 5 members plus 1, so it's 6 points. So you have 6 stitch available, 6 refresh, 6 trade.
okay.
The reason why I like this is because the next time we meet, you can still be absent a drive, have a wound.
Mhm.
So it's not like, you miraculously. In 8 hours, you just don't become a good person, like you're healthy again.
Are you saying that there's not enough magic in this world to magically fix all of my wounds when I decide to actually get a
Exactly.
proper night's sleep?
Well, like because my arm is
For shame.
mechanical, I have to find somebody
To repair
to
your arm.
repair my
Yeah.
Honestly, the most magical thing about Dungeons and Dragons is getting 8 hours of actual sleep.
So what do you guys think?
That's fun.
I like the pace. The pace is great because it kept him alive. Or awake.
Oh, wait.
Just wait.
Yeah, it was great. I like the pace. That's my favorite part about it.
Mhm.
Anybody else have a favorite part?
I like the strategy of your actions.
Yeah, the
You
action
look at-
economy is
You
cool.
look at the way what you want to do and say, okay, how do I use my gilded?
Yeah, it's like you want to play to your
dice? How do
strengths.
I-
Yeah.
And
And
so
I'll do a better job. Now I know for a fact I need a cheat sheet for the skills, for the abilities. So that'll help me because the abilities can be a little strange because survey is search, track, and spot.
you can
Sense is
focus.
attune, channel, and reveal. See, like spot and reveal seem the same to me,
I think it's like like
Like track.
but spot feels more like passive perception. Reveal feels more like investigation.
yeah, but
So-
there's
Right.
inspect, analyze, and remember.
Kind of
focus.
like a
Focus
Yeah,
on
but
a
inspect
study
could be
action.
kind of like intuitive to the challenge
Yeah,
of what
sense
you're
is more
interpreting.
intuitive.
Yeah,
It's kind
yeah.
of, it's
It's
kind of
like,
you're
I think this tea might be
trying to
poisonous.
grab
Let me
into
inspect it.
the magical
I
aspect
feel
of
like
the world.
sway will be used a
Yeah,
lot.
we're picking forged and fire.
Yeah,
I feel like sway,
I like sway and hide.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
both, they both have, especially as a magician, the sleight
But I
of
think-
sleight of hand.
I wrote this intro for us to be a 2-hour session. It was only intended to be a 2-hour session. And considering we started at 7:30, but we didn't really start
get-
playing until like 7:45.
Yeah.
We're now wrapped up at 10:18. So it's a little over.
And we went through
you
the
know.
instructions and
Yeah,
basic rules
yeah,
and stuff,
so-
too,
That's right.
Um,
As we go.
I think the thing I like about this the most is that whether it's a 2 or 4-hour or 3-hour session, it doesn't feel like we have to worry about meeting again. Like I feel like we could just because you solved the case
Uh-huh.
and the case notes are very much the one key case note. Oh, did we locate a thinning? That may be the most important. Like you now have a crystal ball,
Because if
and
he
you
hadn't-
think you now know of a thinning location.
and that was only because he looked up.
Well, it's because I had the success on the.
Right. On the roll. The success on the roll, I narrated out more for him because of that successful
Yeah.
roll. And therefore he interpreted that she's
Mhm.
clearly a seer and you're in a seance room. That's why the chambers looked like they weren't ever truly used for their main purpose. So now, because the circle now has the crystal ball as well as the understanding of a thinning location, you may want to use that spot in the future for other cases. Because that is where the Lightkeeper operates out of. You guys have access to it.
What
The
was her name?
Lightkeeper, huh?
Lily.
Lillian, the former Lightkeeper, yes.
Now the other one's one.
Montgomery. Montgomery. So yeah, I liked it. It was pretty cool. I liked it. It's weird not rolling initiative though. It does take a little bit of challenge to like pace everybody.
Trying to
Yeah,
figure
like-
out.
try and stay like in
Yeah.
a current sequence.
Yeah. However, that I think was a really one thing I did a little creatively. I had the people you were interacting with at least get an opportunity to force you to dodge them or
Kind of respond to their action.
yeah. I didn't want to be one-sided because I noticed when I watched Matt's episode, he didn't really do a lot of that. Like there wasn't a lot of people going after them or trying to physically harm them or doing other
But
things.
they were taking a lot of damage from just mundane things. That
They were
doing.
taking damage from interacting with the bleed a lot and
Yeah.
interacting with magic. Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna keep it in with myself.
All right, everybody, thank you for coming out. Paradox, welcome back. We're so happy to see you. This was a lot of fun. We do plan on doing this more often than not. Also, we're hopeful for Daggerheart coming out in August. We will be back with our. When does Ivar go to war again? Or when does he head out? A couple weeks?
No,
No, it's further out. It's July.
It's actually end of June.
end of, yeah, less than here starts.
No, like, maybe two?
Yeah, it's the end of June.
I thought it was like close to 4th of July.
It's beginning of fourth before it
Yeah,
actually
but 4th of
ends.
July is a Tuesday, so he's.
It ends on the 2nd.
The 27th to the 2nd.
Oh,
So
we
is he
ended-
going to be here the
Yeah.
26th? Do
I
you
was
know?
thinking.
I don't know if I'm here the 26th.
Okay, so if Ivar's not here the 26th, we'll do another case. That way we don't-
We'll do another case.
Yeah, so we will be back next Monday with another case for Candela Obscura.
Assuming
Um,
Yeah.
Assuming I'm
Yeah.
not here.
assuming Ivar's not here. If Ivar is here, we'll be playing our Shattered Kingdoms tomorrow. Pike's Promise is usually on Mondays, but if he's not here Monday, we're gonna do another case number for Candela Obscura with the same circle and character advancement, so you guys can. The character sheet you used tonight, you can take home with you,
Or
She just-
We're gonna keep looking.
or whatever.
she wants to make sure we don't lose them.
Gotcha.
Sure.
I was just questioning the advancements, so like I chose to build an action
Okay.
into,
Oh, the white ones.
like,
Sure.
Yep.
White dot people.
Yep, those were your two options.
or the other one was to add more,
Oh.
drive
I
points.
came from this
Correct. Yep.
I felt them. It was the creature that scratched me, right?
Correct.
Because it said whenever. So if it's a roll, because it says whenever you take one or more bleed marks, because I did get a bleed mark, you gain additional information about the phenomenon that harmed you.
Ooh.
Asking the GM questions about the source of the bleed.
Looks like we have something to work on next Monday.
Okay.
Well, just like and I figured I took the sword, the dagger, so that basically I could kill magical creatures.
What
Okay.
daggers?
What
I
daggers?
never heard about those daggers.
It's
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Be safe, be kind, don't forget to play games.